looks like maybe even a muscle injury, so we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Well, I thought that was a great tackle from Altena there, but the referee will give the free kick. He'll bring a pause to play as well, as the Hearts man is still down. So we've just got about 90 seconds left of the time. It's Spittle, apologies, who's down, the skipper. So he's going to need medical assistance, and then we're down to the last couple of minutes or so. Going into, at the moment, extra time. I think, as you rightfully said, I think there could be a chance for either side, and we get a winner outright after 90 minutes. Do you think Rapid Vienna will be... It's actually his own teammate Mendy who I think has caught him there, at least on his toe. He catches him, and also his legs are a little bit raised, so maybe that's cramp, maybe it's a pull of a hamstring, I'm not too sure. He'll want to keep the skipper on. Of course, Rapid Vienna are the hosts, they have the extra man, but every time Hearts come forward with set pieces, they look like they're going to score. If we go to extra time, I think Hearts will like their chances.
Yeah, I do. Depends what they set up like. Do they play out for the pens? Do they go for it in the open play, which they do look good for? It all depends on that last half an hour and how he wants to play it. It's very, very difficult. It has to be said, but it's such an intriguing tie. Especially, I honestly think Hearts would have won this if they stayed with 11 men. I really do. I thought they would have won it, but that's what they're playing with at the minute. They can't change that. And it's now about to tick over 4, but I think we're going to go to 95.
Yeah, we'll probably get, I think you've spot
at
least extra minute. Also, maybe one big chance, or are we bound for an extra 30 minutes in Austria this evening? Forward come Vienna. Down the right-hand side. Seidel. Back into Demir. Amane. No space Hearts are giving him. He'll have to force that bit of space, Demir. He's trying to force it. Good defensive play though by the 10 men of Hearts. They would love to hear that full-time whistle and accept an extra 30 minutes in hopes of keeping their European dreams alive this season. Every touch at the edge of the area. Amane takes it back, left-footed effort. He's going to go off target, but cleared away regardless. Hearts are just standing tall at the moment, and you probably have to say that both these teams have been able to maybe be a little bit more intense because, of course, the games were postponed, as you spoke at the weekend. They've had a week's full of rest. Here, though, come Vienna. Strike outside the area will go well wide. They're asking for a corner. Hearts asking for a goal kick. You're always going to see that. I can imagine as we approach 5 minutes of stoppage time, this will be hoofed long by Royce, and extra time will be upon us.
Yeah, I think so, and they've done just about enough. But for some reason, I still fancy Hearts to do this, and there goes the full-time whistle.
It does. So we are off to an extra 30 minutes of this clash. What a half it was for Hearts. Went down early on in the first half, of course, to Kara. Kabore, the substitute, came on and made the difference. They're down to 10 men after Magnussen received 2 yellow cards. But it is one apiece on the evening. 3-3 on aggregate. Do join us shortly for extra time.
Full time in the game between Rapid Vienna and Hearts, and it's 1-1, and it's a very eventful game, that's for sure. 34 minutes in, a shot deflected onto a plate for Cara to tap home, but then Hearts had a brilliant response. Red card it was for Magnussen for a second yellow for the substitute Hearts, but then only 2 minutes later another substitute made an appearance, settled with a ball in for a front post chest flick to make it 1-1. So we are going extra time to see who will go through to the league phase. Stay with us, we'll be back shortly. Full time in the game between Rapid Vienna and Hearts, and it's 1-1, and it's a very eventful game, that's for sure. 34 minutes in, a shot deflected onto a plate for Cara to tap home, but then Hearts had a brilliant response. Red card it was for Magnussen for a second yellow for the substitute Hearts, but then only 2 minutes later another substitute made an appearance, settled with a ball in for a front post chest flick to make it 1-1. So we are going extra time to see who will go through to the league phase. Stay with us, we'll be back shortly. Full time in the game between Rapid Vienna and Hearts, and it's 1-1, and it's a very eventful game, that's for sure. 34 minutes in, a shot deflected onto a plate for Cara to tap home, but then Hearts had a brilliant response. Red card it was for Magnussen for a second yellow for the substitute Hearts, but then only 2 minutes later another substitute made an appearance, settled with a ball in for a front post chest flick to make it 1-1. So we are going extra time to see who will go through to the league phase. Stay with us, we'll be back shortly. Full time in the game between Rapid Vienna and Hearts, and it's 1-1, and it's a very eventful game, that's for sure. 34 minutes in, a shot deflected onto a plate for Cara to tap home, but then Hearts had a brilliant response. Red card it was for Magnussen for a second yellow for the substitute Hearts, but then only 2 minutes later another substitute made an appearance, settled with a ball in for a front post chest flick to make it 1-1. So we are going extra time to see who will go through to the league phase. Stay with us, we'll be back shortly. Full time in the game between Rapid Vienna and Hearts, and it's 1-1, and it's a very eventful game, that's for sure. 34 minutes in, a shot deflected onto a plate for Cara. A very warm welcome back. We've swiftly got back underway for the second half between Rapid Vienna and Hearts. It's at 1-1 in the second leg. It was 2-2 in the first. And it was, well, a very eventful one. Down to 10 our Hearts as well. Spittle, the skipper's gone off. Mato has come on. I think he was struggling with a hamstring injury, so he's had to make way, unfortunately. It's back now with Rapid Vienna on halfway. Chance to get forward, as they like to do. There's going to be ball played forward as well. As Vienna just have it at the back now. Just going backwards to go forwards. Out on the far side with Boller, sporting that yellow card, of course. Nothing to split them just yet. As it's at the back, as they play it around the back. It's interesting how Hearts set up. Do they go for the win, or do they set up for the penalties? It'll be interesting to see, that's for sure. It's on the near side with Horn. All the way back it goes to Heedle, in between the sticks for Rapid. And keeping hold of the ball. We have half an hour in this game to split this, to see who goes through to the main tournament, to the league phase. Hearts have dropped out the Champions League, dropped out the Europa League, and are now in the Conference League qualifiers. Are they going to fall at the third hurdle as well? They've already fallen at 2, and they're down to 10, and the skipper's gone off as well. As a ball in from Hort on the far side. A ball goes in this time, and it's going to be cleared. Rapid Vienna have it back edge of the box. It's going to be a shot, comes in on the left foot, a defensive headed block. It's gone up rather than out, and they haven't dealt with it yet. It's going to be a flick around the corner. If they dealt with it now, there's a man on the floor for Hearts, and it will be, I think, a free kick. As seems to be a push, I think, going in there somewhere. Someone's been hit into, it might be McKenty who's taken the brunt of it. I think it is. It's going to be a yellow card for someone on the bench for Rapid Vienna. I think it's the skipper, the gaffer, Honerson Thorup. As maybe just getting a bit too, I think he's just getting a bit too lippy with the fourth official. So he receives a yellow card. There's a free kick for Hearts, who have not been pushovers at all, you'd have to say. And they've got the ball. They've actually just been giving it to Royce in his hands at this point. He's going to kick long, and he's going to kick very long to the far side. It's not actually a bad kick. He's looking for Kabore on that far side, and he did win the ball, but he's just given it away. Chance to maybe get forward here, as They move it down the left side. As ball goes backwards this time for Hearts, trying to win it back, and they've just about done it, but all the way back it goes to Heedle in goal. Has the ball on the far side. Inside it goes. Oh, they've given it away. That's a poor pass, and Kabore wins it high up. He's all by himself. He's actually lost the ball. He's on a yellow card as well, so he needs to be very, very careful at the minute. Ball moved to the near side this time. As they're coming forward. As they're going to go backwards this time, Rapid Vienna. Has moved to the far side to Boller. He's got a chance to come forward. As it's moved to the far side and flicked inside. Central is an opening here for Rapid Vienna. A lot of space. Shot comes in. Good block. It's going to be a corner kick to Rapid off a Hearts player. It was the skipper, Seidel, just getting a pocket of space, and I was worried there for Hearts, but they closed the gap very, very quickly. Let's have a look. Edge of the box, right hand side of the D, left-footed shot. It's a good block in the end. And cleared out. As a left-footed corner from the far side. Live to fight for another day. It's going to be a left-footed in-swinging ball deep into the box, headed clear. Shot's going to come in on the edge. It's deflected and headed out. And Rapid Vienna very much in this game now. They've grown much more into it, and it looks like Hearts are trying to set up for the penalties here. Ball on the far side for Rapid. Advantage played. Right-hand side of the box. Dug out a left-footed pass. Back it goes. As they move to the near side this time. Chance to get the ball in. It's a good one as well. Header comes in. Deflected header. And it's going to be cleared out. And it will be a goal kick. It was actually the goal scorer in Kara with the headed effort. It was a tough one to take. He's trying to get it on the glance. It is a very tough one. And goal kick will resume. And it's a good kick out by Royce, but no one's under it. And it's been kicked back once where it came. There's a bit of a battle on the far side. It will be a Rapid throw-in. As they go backwards to go forwards this time. Move to the near side. Moved all the way to the near side. Chance to get the ball in on the right foot. Thought about it, did the number 15, but he hasn't gone for it. He hasn't pulled the trigger just yet, and they've got themselves a throw-in on the near. Backwards. Hearts are on the back foot in the opening 6 minutes of this extra time 30. It's just keep ball now in the centre of their half. Move to the near side. Dug out across with the left foot. It's a poor one. It's hit the side netting. It's not a good ball in, it has to be said. And it will be a goal kick to Hearts, who we did pose the question of how they would set up for this second half. This extra time. And it's been very much a sit-back job. And you'd like to presume at this point that they're just sat back, ready to see the penalties. That's the way I'm seeing it in front of me at the minute. Ball now on the near side with Vienna. Ball into the centre circle of their own half. Ball moved to the far side. This is a good play by Rapid. Over to the far side they go. Sitting in deeper Hearts, trying to play through them. They're struggling to get through, to be all honest. That's a good bit of feed by Mendy. And over to the far side it goes. Keep ball. Move backwards to Botman. Inside their own half. And all the way across to the far side. Can it be kept in? It can't. They can't make it stick at the minute, Hearts. And they can't really get on the ball. You can't blame them down to 10. And it goes backwards. Inside it goes. And over to the near side. As still with Rapid on the ball, who very much controlled the first half for this extra time. And over to the near side. But of course they've lost Spittle now. Only the one substitution in extra time. Spittle's gone off, the skipper who had that hamstring problem. And on comes Mato, the number 74. There's no real chances. There's only been one or two for Rapid, with a glancing header by the goal scorer. But apart from that, it's just been all Rapid in possession, and that's it. But it looks like hard to set up for the penalties.
It does, and we said that at the back end of the second half, didn't we? If they could get to penalties, that's that 50-50. It's a shootout. You might lose, but you've gone as far as you can. I think, as you rightfully said as well, in the second half, Nathan, that if Hearts had 11 men, I probably would have backed them to, first of all, even probably win the game, push forward. Also, probably, more likely, of course, you've got that extra man in extra time, haven't you? Down the left-hand side come the hosts. Looking for that ball into the box. They can't just find it at the moment. Hearts are pushing them back. Yeah, all the way to the right-hand side to Bolo on that yellow card as well. So I know Hearts aren't going to come forward much, but maybe if you get the Miller running at his man or anything along those lines. Of course, a lot of kick-offs at the moment in the AFL Cup second round. Myself and Nathan will be cutting it quite close, but we'll be on the 8 o'clock at Deepdale. Preston against Everton as forward come Vienna. Edge of the area, they might go for a shot here. No, they continue to play. Thought that opened up nicely for Demir. Left-hand side, the full-back will swing a ball into the box. Big header away. Only as far as the edge of the area. Demir picks it up. Poor pass. Stretching to get it there, but they do come over. It's still on the attack down the left-hand side. Ball swung in. Big header away once again from McKenzie. Right-hand side, Boller. Can he find a ball into the box? No, he plays it to his overlapping wing. A big tackle coming in there. And that is exactly what Hearts will have wanted for the substitute there. Again, Hearts, their substitutions have been on point. They've been top so far this evening. And I'm sure support Yusuf Erabi who leads the line for Preston. Whereas for the Toffees, Pickford is in goal. Back four of Merlin Roll, skipper James Tarkovsky, Michael Keane and Vitaly Mikolenko. With James Garner and Harrison Armstrong, the two holders. Illiman Njai, Kiernan Dewsbury Hall and Tyler Dibbling. Supporting the one who scored against Palace at the weekend, Tieno Barry continues to lead the line. Tony Harrington is the official for all the action this evening from Deepdale. EFL Cup round 2 action as the Premier League side Everton visit Deepdale. Preston versus Everton coming up shortly. Preston host Everton this Wednesday evening in the second round of the EFL Cup as Deepdale plays host to the Premier League side. The Toffees, of course, great start to their Premier League season. A confident 2-0 victory against Crystal Palace at the weekend, whereas Preston suffered a 3-1 loss against Wolverhampton Wanderers at the weekend. They're yet to win in the league this season. 2-1 loss to Bolton as well. They drew 1 apiece with Huddersfield in the first round, winning 4-3 on penalties to get here. And they're the ones who make a whole host of changes. Only 4 remain, 7 changes from the loss to Wolves. In comes Nicholas, Valentine, Gibson, Vukcevic, Thompson, Small and Morum. As the Toffees only make 3 changes. Strong side for David Moyes this evening. Bramthwaite, Hackney and George drop out. Keane, Garner and Dibbling in their places. For Paul Hecking bottom side, Lee Nicholas is in goal. That pair of Paul Valentine, Jordan Snorri, Lewis Gibson and Andrija Vukcevic. Midfield duo of Leo Leroy and Jordan Thompson. Thierry Small, Andrew Moran and Delano Bergzorg support Yusuf Erabi, who leads the line for Preston. Whereas for the Toffees, Pickford is in goal. Back four of Merlin Roll, skipper James Tarkovsky, Michael Keane and Vitaly Mikolenko. With James Garner and Harrison Armstrong, the two holders. Illiman Njai, Kiernan Dewsbury Hall and Tyler Dibbling. Supporting the one who scored against Palace at the weekend, Tieno Barry continues to lead the line. Tony Harrington is the official for all the action this evening from Deepdale. EFL Cup round 2 action as the Premier League side Everton visit Deepdale. Preston versus Everton coming up shortly. Preston host Everton this Wednesday evening in the second round of the EFL Cup as Deepdale plays host to the Premier League side. The Toffees, of course, great start to their Premier League season. A confident 2-0 victory against Crystal Palace at the weekend, whereas Preston suffered a 3-1 loss against Wolverhampton Wanderers at the weekend. They're yet to win in the league this season. 2-1 loss to Bolton as well. They drew 1 apiece with Huddersfield in the first round, winning 4-3 on penalties to get here. And they're the ones who make a whole host of changes. Only 4 remain, 7 changes from the loss to Wolves. In comes Nicholas, Valentine, Gibson, Vukcevic, Thompson, Small and Modern. As the Toffees only make 3 changes. Strong side for David Moyes this evening. Branthwaite, Hackney and George drop out. Keane, Garner and Dibbling in their places. For Paul Heckingbottom side, Lee Nicholas is in goal. And part of Paul Valentine, Jordan Story, Lewis Gibson and Andrija Vukcevic. Midfield duo of Leo Leroy and Jordan Thompson. Thierry Small, Andrew Moran and Delano Bergzorg support Yusuf Erabi, who leads the line for Preston. Whereas for the Toffees, Pickford is in goal. Back four of Merlin Roll, skipper James Tarkovsky, Michael Keane and Vitaly Mikalenko. James Garner and Harrison Armstrong, the 2 holders. Illiman Njai, Kiernan Dewsbury Hall and Tyler Dibbling. Supporting the one who scored against Palace at the weekend, Tieno Barry continues to lead the line. Tony Harrington is the official for all the action this evening from Deepdale. EFL Cup round 2 action as the Premier League side Everton visit Deepdale. Preston versus Everton coming up shortly. Preston host Everton this Wednesday evening in the second round of the EFL Cup, as Deepdale plays host to the Premier League side. The Toffees, of course, great start to their Premier League season, a confident 2-0 victory against Crystal Palace at the weekend, whereas Preston suffered a 3-1 loss against Wolverhampton Wanderers at the weekend. They're yet to win in the league this season. 2-1 loss to Bolton as well. They drew 1 apiece with Huddersfield in the first round, winning 4-3 on penalties to get here. And they're the ones who make a whole host of changes. Only 4 remain, 7 changes from the loss to Wolves. In comes Nicholas, Valentine, Gibson, Vukcevic, Thompson, Small and Modern. As the Toffees only make 3 changes. Strong side for David Moyes this evening. Branthwaite, Hackney and George drop out. Keane, Garner and Dibbling in their places. For Paul Heckingbottom side, Lee Nicholas is in goal. Part of Paul Valentine, Jordan Story, Lewis Gibson and Andrija Vukcevic. Midfield duo of Leo Leroy and Jordan Thompson. Thierry Small, Andrew Moran and Delano Bergzorg support Yusuf Erabi, who leads the line for Preston. Whereas for the Toffees, Pickford is in goal. Back four of Merlin. Well, it is a warm welcome to all the action. Unofficial, independent, off-tube studio commentary from Deepdale as Preston host Premier League side Everton in the second round of the EFL Cup. David Moyes' Toffees in some fine form. Big victory at the weekend, on opening weekend of the Premier League at home to Crystal Palace. Looking to continue that form, whereas Preston winless in the league. Losses against Bolton and Wolves. Not the start that Paul Heckingbottom and co will have wanted. Perhaps an opportunity this evening, though, to pull a bit of a surprise, possibly, for the Lily Whites this evening. Of course, looking at the lineups as the ball comes in early here for Everton. They're going to win a corner, nodded away out the back there by Story. Everton have gone rather strong, I'd have to say, this evening at Deepdale. They go from left to right in the usual all blue, whereas Preston in the white jerseys, navy shorts, white socks combo go from right to left. In-swinger coming in here from James Garner. They can't deal with it. Kiernan Dewsbury Hall, strike is blocked away. Lovely touch from Njai. Here come Preston on a possible counter-attack down the left-hand side. I'll bring you the lineups in just a moment. Bergzorg flying down the left-hand side. He's got an overlapping run. If he wants to use him, he cuts back in on his right boot, and it's well defended. He's going to win a free kick there, Dewsbury Hall. No, but he's going to come away with the ball. Great play there. Even better tackle coming in there, actually, from Thierry Small to win the ball back. Great start to this game so far. Forward comes Leroy. Intercepted, though, by Garner, and showing the quality there out to Dibbling. No goals or assists in his previous 17 appearances for Everton. Could tonight be the night where he gets that goal contribution. 1-2 down the right hand side. Dibbling takes it past his man. He's still going strong, defending at the back there from Gibson. Pulled out to the left hand channel, the centre back there. Well defended, though, against the pacey winger of the youngster Dibbling. Does he trip up Vukcevic there? No, says the referee. And then he will bring it back, actually, for a quick free kick taken by Dibbling. Armstrong, a good game at the weekend. He continues to start. Dewsbury Hall, as per usual, the main man in that number 10 for David Moyes. Njai on his favoured left-hand side. And an overlapping run from Mikolenko. Dewsbury Hall 1-2, back to Ndai. Edge of the area, opens up for a strike at goal. Just scrapes wide of Lee Nichols' goal. Looks like they might have taken deflection as well. As I say, of course, a lot of changes at the weekend for Preston. 7 from that 3-1 loss to Wolves. Only Story, Leroy, Lang and the Rabbit keep their places. A lot of changes, whereas Everton have only made 3. Branthwaite, Hackney and George are out. Keane, Garner and Dibbling are into the lineup this evening. Here's another corner though coming up for Everton. They've started rather strong here. Have the Toffees, massive favourites coming into this game. It will be from the near side. There'll be an in-swinger from Dewsbury Hall. It's not a great one into the front post. It's nodded away. Not as far as Ndai. Sort of one-on-one against Terry Small. Ball comes in. I believe that's talking maybe slight deflection. Maybe even out for a corner. That's what Ndai is complaining about. Well, ball rolled to the right-hand side. He's got to wake up there. Does Valentine. So nonchalant, being pressed down there by Njai. A real open flow to this game so far at Deepdale. Won by Garner, looks to dink it over the top. Nice interception there in the middle from Leroy. Everton, though, getting the ball with Mikolenko. Really nice high tempo to this game so far. Starting off fast and furious, you'd have to say. Great tracking back there from Small to win it, and Thompson will play it short. Back to his defender, who's under some pressure from Tieno Barry. Has to clear it away. It's not a great clearance, though. It's only as far as James Garner. As I said a few times, a great start to this game so far. Left-hand side Njai, you know, he wants to be direct, he wants to run at his man, looking for options. He was looking for the option of his overlapping full-back in Mikolenko there, didn't come. So he comes short to Garner. Out to roll on the right-hand side. Tyler Dibbling plays it short. And I will say they have started the better of the two, as you probably would expect. Of course, this isn't the only game this evening in the EFL Cup second round. Here comes Ndai just on the edge of the area. Nice run from Dewsbury Hall to set it up. Dibbling will go for the strike. It will be central and on target, but straight into the arms of Lee Nicholas in the Preston goal. Of course, as I was saying, 3 other ties this evening in the second round of the EFL Cup. Bradford hosting Burnley, Tottenham against Charlton. They're currently goalless in those 2 games. And at St James's Park, well, the Baggies have started well this season. Big win against Norwich on opening weekend of the Championship, and then a massive monumental victory against the Clarets. Burnley at the weekend. They've taken the lead at St James's Park from a free kick. Just seeing it on my screen, catching the goalkeeper out. What a strike that was! And out of nowhere, it's the Baggies who do lead early on. Looks like it was Isaac Price there. Bagged a brace at the weekend. Well, that good momentum does continue. Here come the Toffees, ball into the box. It's not a great one though from Dewsbury Hall. Leroy will pick it up, turns his man, plays it back to his forward Erabi, who's going to lose it. James Garner's going to drive further forward. Almost been given that further licence. That's a poor clearance, only as far as Ndai. And Preston are struggling to clear their lines. When they do, it only goes to a blue jersey. It's not going into the Everton half. And we are 7 minutes into this clash, and probably say that 90% of the game so far has been played in the Preston half. Keane out to the left-hand side for a 1-2. We'll get it back and into Tarkovsky. Plays it forward for Dibbling. Nice 1-2. Nice build-up from Everton. Looking confident on the ball. The Toffees. Dewsbury Hall into Ndai. Nice first few touches into an area. Tieno Barry. Back for Ndai. His shot is blocked. Then Barry's shot is blocked as well. Playing some nice stuff here are Everton, but blocking bodies on the line for Preston so far at Deepdale. Quickly though, the full lineups. Nicholas is in goal for the hosts. That forward of Valentine, Story, Gibson and Vukcevic, with Leroy and Thompson in the middle. Small off the right, Bergzorg off the left, Moran centrally supporting Irabi. Whereas for the visitors, Pickford in goal, back for Vrol, Skipper Tarkovsky, Keane and Mikolenko, Garner and Armstrong, the 2 holders. Dibbling right, Indai left, Dewsbury Hall centrally with Tieno Barry, the lone leader of the line. Another in-swinger coming in from Dewsbury Hall. He's going to overhit that. Goalkeeper came to claim it. I wonder if he got a touch on it there. No, Nicholas gives a thumbs up to his teammates, although I thought he was almost going to put that out for another corner there, living dangerously. You'd have to say. We'll give you an update as well. I was just on the game, and I'll be joined, myself, Lewis Raftery, joined by my co-coms in about maybe 10 or 15 minutes. Nathan Wastel. We were covering the game in Austria, Rapid Vienna against Hearts. 2-1 to Hearts on the evening, 10-man Hearts as well. They were 1-0 down, went down to 10 men, got a goal to take it to extra time, and then one of the best goals I've seen in a long while, of a volley from a lovely ball in from left-hand side from Miller. Put it in the back of the net, and they lead 2-1 in extra time. That's in the second half. A game you can catch the back end of that on this service. I'll be Nathan Wastel to take you through all that, and he'll be joining me just as their duties are done in Austria. We're making a short trip to Deepdale to come and cover this game. Again, unofficial, independent, off-tube studio commentary. EFL Cup Round 2. Preston 0, Everton 0. Everton have started very, very well, though, so far. Positive on top, attacking play. But at the moment, it is very much Preston on the ball, trying to knock it around. At the right-hand side with Valentine. Not really pressing too high, are the Toffees at the moment. Ball over the top, looking for the pacey Irabi, but well, that's just confidence and quality there from Michael Keane. And Alfie Devine, in the last season in the Championship, at least for Preston, most appearances, most shots, most carries, most big chances created, and most expected assists. He's not playing this evening, and it'll be a big miss for Paul Higginbottom and Kurt. He's on the bench, of course, so always come on and make an impact. I can imagine it's a weird game. EFL Cup for Preston. If you win, you get a big tie. Who knows, you might have a bit of a cup run, but when you've lost your first two opening games in the league and Everton are in town, it's always what would you rather do? 7 changes, I think, shows Paul Higginbottom, of course, would love a result, but all eyes are on the league, whereas Everton are probably sitting here thinking, we started well in the league, really happy with what we did. Confident win against Crystal Palace on the weekend, of course, at the Hill Dickinson. 2-0 victory there for the Toffees. Keane will switch it from left to right, looking for the roll. Too much on that. And the fullback sees it fly over his head. The young German, of course, on loan last season at Everton. Now signed on a permanent deal for the David Moyes' side. On the right-hand side anyway, and he's starting at right back. Of course, all the stat on social media, as usually everyone does see. They didn't sign a right back for the better part of 20 years, bar Seamus Coleman and Nathan Patterson. Role playing his part, though, had a good performance at the weekend and keeps his place, rightfully so. As I say, only 3 changes for Everton and David Moyes, so going strong. I think that just shows the intent the visitors have this evening and how their away end. It's an absolutely packed out away end. The travelling Toffees this evening so far. 11.5 minutes on the clock. 6 shots for Everton, 1 on target. 65% possession. Preston yet to trouble the goal so far. Ball swung out to Dibbling once again. It's well under hit, and now there could be a counter on here for Preston in the middle with Moore, and Vukcevic needs to just roll that with more power. Needs to fizz that into the feet of Bergsorg, and well, it might have been away there, but was Port. It will be Everton who come away with the ball. Still goalless between Bradford City and Burnley. Graham Alexander, the former Burnley player, of course, hosting his former side. Tottenham and Charlton are goalless, just as we are here, and it's the Baggies at West Brom 1. The Magpies, Newcastle 0. Left-hand side, Mikolenko with a quick throw-in. Plays it short to Pickford. Another player that continues in goal. Almost like a stalwart, isn't he? Is Pickford. Whenever you see a line up with the Toffees in, I'm expecting him to be in it regardless of the competition. Ball forward. Oh, looking for the run there of Barry. Too much on it. And Nicholas will come away with the ball. Punts it long, looking for Irabi. Brought down nicely, Moran. Bergzorg flicks it forward for Moran, who looks for the 1-2, but that's a poor pass back to Bergzorg, and this is where Everton thrive on that transition and that speed and pace. Out to Iliman Njai on the left-hand side. Can he create something here? Cuts inside, it bobbles off his left boot, keeps the attack alive, and I think actually it's bobbled off his left arm as well. As he tried to cut inside, he almost took a touch and got underneath the ball, lofted it. That's come off of an arm there. Last 18 games, all competitions for Preston, 0 clean sheets, 34 goals conceded, shots faced per game 16, and 4 errors leading to goals. So sometimes they can be on their own worst enemy. Can the hosts this evening. But the goalkeeper though will look to go long here to Irabi. Looking some old school hypervenom, so he's a big fan for me at the moment. Paul Heckingbottom, all eyes as usual focused for him, the ever experienced Preston boss. 49-year-old is celebrating 2 years in charge of former. Well, he's been all over the place in the best ways, hasn't he? Sheffield United, Hibernian Leeds, Barnsley, the former Harrogate and Gateshead player. 103 matches in charge coming into this game. 32 wins, 35 draws, 36 losses. Very level there in all those games. I'm looking for his 33rd victory, of course, in charge of the Lily Whites this evening. Also another ever experienced coach, and David Moyes, the 63-year-old in the away dugout, been in charge. Second stint, of course, with the Toffee since January 2025. 62 games, 23 wins, 17 draws, 22 losses. Once again, kind of a similar kind of win-draw-loss ratio. Everton knocking the ball around nicely, patiently as well. I'll have to say, Michael Keane just inside the Preston half. Again, Everton, they're not really pushing anything. They're quite happy with what they've got. Roll. Kind of dropping a little bit deeper. The former Manchester United academy man begins to get on the ball and make something for his side. Save just because it's coming into the last few moments. It is still a Hearts lead, 2-1. It's win or go home, or whatever result it is. If it's a draw, we go to penalties there in Austria. If Hearts were to be successful, they will go through to play Conference League football. It'll be them or Rapid Vienna going through to the Conference League phase. Here come Everton down the right-hand side with Roll. Can he find a ball into the box? He can, but it's straight to the goalkeeper. Nicholas punches it away. It's a good punch as well. But Keane's the first one to win that. Oh, heavy touch there from Dewsbury Hall. Lovely ball out to the left-hand side. Bergzorg, he can get it on the end of it. Yes, he can. He can get the Jets on as well. Here come Preston driving forward. Goes for goal. Great block from Tarkowski, the skipper. He showed great regrouping there just to get back and showed a bit of pace as well. Ball forward for Tieno Barry. Shouts of offside. Has he got a one-on-one? Well defended once again, though, I'd have to say, by Preston. The duo of Story and Gibson putting him under a bit of pressure there. Wasn't a great ball. Needs to be a little bit more in front of Barry, and I think Barry does as well as he can to hold off the defender. Haven't seen the linesman's flank go up there, so that would have spared his blushes, possibly. Maybe Dewsbury Hall, if he could have slithered in with a bit more power, a bit more pace into the former Villarreal forward. He almost had to take it from him behind him, but caught up in his feet was an awkward one for him. Here come Preston Moran. His foul referee says no. Apologies. The official this evening is Tony Harrington. Moran was on the deck there. I thought without a doubt that would have been a foul, and Irabi almost left it because I think he wanted the foul. I think although Everton are a big side, of course, the likes of Tarkowski, Keane and Barry from attacking and defending set pieces. Preston will think that's a way for us. Of course, ball over the top here, looking for Barry. Too much on that one. And into the arms of Nichols in the Preston goal. Well, I was speaking about the game in Austria. Rapid Vienna have got an equaliser to a piece there on the evening. That was the score, of course, in the home leg at Tynecastle. Looks like we're off the penalties there. Goals from fast breaks most last season. Preston with 13, all in second and 11. Stoke with 10, Coventry with 9. So that just shows that the transition for Preston is ever so dangerous no matter who you're facing. Championship is a stacked league, and Preston have been the better side, the best side I should say, last season in 25-26 when it comes to those quick transition goals. Forward come the Toffees down the left hand side, and Dyer looking for a nice back heel. The idea was there, unfortunately, though the run wasn't for Mikalenko, so Nichols will just hold it up, wait for the run of Barry to close him down, and then Nichols will pick the ball up and get his head up, and I can imagine this isn't going to go short. I can only imagine this will go long, and trying to get it out of any danger areas, you'd have to say. Ball up to the right hand side, too much on it there. Good idea, that was nearly to the right hand side for Thierry Small, who hasn't really got going in this game so far. Bergzorg, I'm not saying he's had loads of runs at his full back, but the wingers had better at the times, had more opportunities early on. Tarkowski, the skipper. He studs on the ball and a slow pace. I will say Preston, they do have almost quite a high line. They're not really sitting in a high press, but that back four is putting pressure, and there is space in behind if Everton can use it. Nice ball to Barry, swings it out to Ndiaye on the left hand side, looks for a 1-2, he's going to get it back. He's Ndiaye driving into the penalty area. Good defending though at the moment by Story. Ndiaye keeps the ball though, cuts inside, ball into the box. It's nodded away by Gibson on his father's roll. To Armstrong, nice first few touches and a turn away from his man. Pokes it forward up from Mikalenko, deflected away by Thompson to Armstrong. Garner, edge of the area, so compact from Preston. Barry with a chest down, cleared away, hacked away. That's a really good clearance from Story. Got his boot right underneath it. A lot of power as well. And Everton do just keep possession though. Strong start, as I said earlier, for the Toffees. About 72% possession for David Moyes and co. 7 shots, 2 on target so far. Preston with the one, that was Bergzorg's blocked effort. Mikalenko, ball into the box just over the head of Barry. It'll fall for Dibbling, still inside the penalty area. Goes for the curling effort. Slices that well wide, and we all know that Tyler Dibbling, the former Saints winger, only still 20 years of age. We all know he's got so much potential, but at the moment he's a player who's lacking confidence. He's a player at the moment who's just a bit down in the dumps, and could do with a bit of confidence, and maybe that's what David Moyes is thinking this evening. Bring him in, have a good game, possibly it's the championship side, maybe get some goal involvements, maybe have a few tricks and flicks, who knows. Bergzorg on the left, centrally to Thompson. Gets his head up and sees he's got a few options. Looks for a 1-2 with Leroy. 2 midfielders still on the ball. Thompson, get his head up there. Oh, nice pass to Moran. They've got space here. Have Preston, if they can work it well, out to the left hand side to Bergzorg. Tricks and flicks on the left hand side. A few step overs. Stop, start, stop, start. Into Thompson centrally, and now it is Everton who are sitting back. But again, I said about it earlier, and it will be exactly the same. Everton will be happy with this, no matter who they're facing, because they like to hit on a transition as well. Vukcevic, left-hand side, ball into the back stick. Small gets it wrong, doesn't read it correctly. Might even be a push there on the back of his opposite number. No, there isn't. Small still comes away with the ball, and Ndiaye is pressing his man down. Great play from Iliman Ndiaye, and he wins the ball back for the Toffees. Close to his own corner flag, I have to say, but pressing down there. Confident play from Ndiaye. Quite shocked he hasn't been linked with a move away to a side player playing in Europe. There's a lot of links last summer and early on this year in the winter transfer window. I think he's an excellent player. Showing his qualities this evening so far, that they can not just attack and score your goals possibly, but he will track back. He will help out. Pickford. Short to Tarkowski, 22.5 minutes on the clock here at Deepdale. Well, welcome if you are joining. It's myself, Lewis Raftery, taking you through unofficial independent off-tube studio commentary. Preston 0, Everton 0, second round of the EFL Cup. At the moment, goalless here, although Everton have been on top and have been the better side. No real clear-cut chance so far. This one may be falling for Tierney Barry. I'm not quite sure if he was offside or in the build-up to that or not. Forward Everton come down the left-hand side. Armstrong continues in the middle, of course. Keane will go for goal, about 45 yards out. I remember he scored an absolute screamer years ago. The formerly Burnley centre-back. And he thought, you know what, if you're just going to sit back, I'll put my laces through this, but gets away from him and he slices it. If he could get his laces through, as I say, he has scored a screamer or two before. Well, playing centre-back, the never experienced Michael Keane's got that in his locker, we know. So goal kick coming up for Preston. Well, we've had 2 goals at St James's Park. Equaliser for Newcastle. Newcastle 1, West Brom 1. And Isaac Price, free kick, catching out the goalie for the Magpies. And it is Newcastle who have levelled it up there. Just watching it on my screens. A lovely ball into the box. Looks like it's one of the new summer signings, Torre, who's made it one apiece there. Of course, Bradford, Burnley, Newcastle, West Brom and Spurs and Tottenham Hotspur taking on Charlton. Those 3 games did kick off at 7:45. So they are a little bit ahead of me at the time there. I'm going into half-time. They will be kicking off for the second half. So my job will be finished a little bit later here than those. Quick update, just going to penalties between Rapid Vienna and Hearts. So that's a one to keep an eye on. As I said, I will be joined by the man on that comms at the moment, flying solo we both are. Nathan Wastel is on that. We covered that game up until I had to take the trip to Deepdale, of course. Jai closing probably on close to 80% possession in this first 25 minutes here. Our Everton, lovely ball over the top, looking for Mikalenko, puts it on, a play for Barry, and that's the opener for the Toffees. It's been coming for the opening 25 minutes. What a start that is for Everton. They've been strong, they've looked confident. That ball over the top, what a run, what a pass. Tierney Barry opened his season with a goal at the weekend in the 2-0 win against Crystal Palace. The youngster, big money from Villarreal. Well, if he can find his footing. That was great, that lovely ball over the top from Kane and Dewsbury Hall. The run was on the money from Mikalenko. The pass was on the money. And he just tees it up first time, first touch on a plate for Barry. He will score them all season long. It's got to be a good pass as well. It's not an easy pass for Mikalenko. He's got to get it in between 2 central defenders. And Barry with a celebration. Well, he'll be over the moon with that one. As 26 minutes on the clock here at Deepdale. It's been a top-notch 26 minutes from David Moyes and co. It is Preston 0, Everton 1. Barry continuing to score in back-to-back games. Thierry Small there, he's absolutely frustrated there with his teammates. He's won a throw-in high on the right-hand side, trying to keep this momentum up. With Everton, 2-0 at the weekend, who knows, 2-0 this evening as well. Long throw-in here coming up though on the right-hand side of Valentin. Looking at his options. Quick 1-2 from the throw-in once again. Iliman Ndiaye, my word, the work rate on the left-hand side is phenomenal. Vitaly Mikalenko will play it down the channel looking for Barry. Is he going to keep it in? Yes, he is. Big tackle coming in there from Leo Leroy. He'll win the ball, and it will go out for a throw-in for the Toffees. Mikalenko there, just trying to find that ball, curved it centrally, just never really got the curve on it, unfortunately. Because if it did, that would have been a top-notch opportunity there for Barry to make it 2-0 to the Toffees. And his second goal of the evening. Roberto De Zerbi didn't have the opening weekend he will have wanted. A disappointing, humbling loss to Brentford at the G-Tech at the weekend. And needs a response this evening. He's got one. Tottenham Hotspur 1, Charlton 0. The Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. A couple of goals trickling and still goalless at Valley Parade. Bradford City 0, Burnley 0. Forward come Everton. Down the left-hand side, Mikalenko. Good performance so far. Purring are the Toffees. Dewsbury Hall has got the run of Garner, goes for himself. Strike is blocked away at source by Thompson. And now here come Preston on a counter. The ball pass back to Thompson. He can poke it forward though to Moran. Looking for space. Leroy is under some pressure. Moran will swing out to the right hand side to Thierry Small. Lovely first touch on his chest. He's going to drive forward. He's got an overlapping run. Looks for a ball into the box for Irabi, but a strong header away from Tarkowski. When you've got the box presence of Tarkowski and Keane, those balls have to be on the money, or they're going to head them away all evening long. They're going to love them. That's bread and butter for James Tarkowski and Michael Keane, and then it's hooked away. Barry will put Snorri under pressure, but he does go back to his goalie. And Preston, they have to respond. One shot that was blocked away by Bergzorg, and closing in on half an hour. Needs to be better. Vukcevic. Back to Gibson, who's making his way into the Everton half. Moran will box it forward. Can Bergzorg get on the end of it? Yes, he can. A couple of heavy touches. Tarkowski will just put it out of play for a corner kick. Nothing too serious. Unless Bergzorg was possibly offside. I haven't seen the linesman's flag go up just yet. But it might have been. Watch his goal back. What a ball from Keane and Dewsbury Hall. Mikalenko, everyone in that move deserves credit. Lovely first touch from Mikalenko. Lovely pass. Barry movement. First time finish. And Everton are looking very good at the moment this evening. Look at the attacking areas. On the right, 22%, centrally 27%. Well, on the left-hand side, 51%. So half of Everton's attack have come down the left-hand side. Here comes Preston. Great tackle. Great timing as well from Michael Keane. Gets in there. Intercepts the ball. Lovely play down the right-hand side, though, now with Diblin taking on his man. A couple of step overs and dribbles. He's going to get an overlapping run here from Armstrong. Cuts back inside on his left boot. Edge of the area, Dewsbury Hall into Tieno Barry looking for a 1-2. Back to Hall, or loses his balance in the penalty area. What a goal that would have been. Well, Everton are putting on a masterclass this evening at the moment. Preston, I know, confidence maybe down in the dumps with the two league losses, and well, in all competitions they didn't win, of course, of Drury Huddersfield. Won on penalties to advance to the second round. Everton, as I said, they're looking confident, they're looking good. And at the moment, Preston aren't showing anything to make you believe that they would get an equaliser. Who knows? Games swinging roundabouts, as I said. Was on the Rapid Vienna Hearts game earlier on in the first half. If you'd have said to me that Hearts were going to score in the first 20 minutes or so, I'd have said not a chance. Vienna are going to run away with this. Didn't happen. Watching this back, Dewsbury Hall, he just loses balance, goes over. He knows it himself. He's so disappointed as he goes down, because that flick back from Barry in his first touch from the former Leicester and Chelsea man was absolutely spot on. Preston, though, will keep a hold of the ball. Go back to Nicholas in goal. Well, Spurs, no goals on opening weekend against Brentford. They took the 1-0 lead against Charlton. 2-0 up now, looking confident. And his Irby's side, you'd have to say. Charlton, that might already be their game done. Mikey Moore and Dominic Solanke with goals for Spurs. Half-time in the game at St James's Park. Still going between Tottenham and Charlton. Maybe a few more minutes left there. One apiece between the Magpies and the Baggies. That's just gone extra half-time, I should say, sorry. And Bradford City 0, Burnley 0. That's just gone half-time at Valley Parade as well. Still going penalties, Rapid Vienna and Hearts. I believe that might have gone to, excuse me, sudden death. Knockout football in the penalty shootout round. So we've got a knockout game, win or go home. And similar in the penalties. Preston have worked the ball here to the left-hand side. They will win a throw-in. I thought I'm going to throw it long into the area. They had to take it quickly. Vukcevic. Well, if they give away a throw-in, that is terrible from the hosts. They give away the ball from the throw-in, they take it short. It's a poor pass to Vukcevic, and it's even worse touch and now to play for a throw, and Paul Heckingbottom looking frustrated. But I'd have to say something like that has got to come from either the coach or the coaching staff. I think players would rather put the ball into the box. That's pretty poor there. You've got to take that on the chin if you're Paul Heckingbottom at the moment. David Moyes' side, as I say, putting on a bit of a masterclass this evening at Deepdale. Ball over the top in Jai. Is Barry going to get there? No, he's not. There's a little bit too much on that one. Goal kick for Preston. Well, it went to penalties. And it's Hearts who have been successful. They will be playing at Conference League football this coming season. What a result. Walter Vranken's side. 2 apiece last week at Tynecastle. Went 1-0 down early on. Got an equaliser. But not before going down to 10 men. Got the equaliser, got the goal through Miller in the first half for stoppage time. They did concede in the second half. They have been successful on penalties. And, with them, as I say, playing conference football. Nothing for Rapid Vienna. Ball over the top here for Tarkowski. Brilliantly brought down by Dewsbury Hall on his chest. Stories in his face, you know, in a flash to press him down here. I was impressed at the weekend as well by Everton, but David Moyes' side have looked, as you would expect, possibly, a class above this evening against the Championship side. I'm sure he'll be happy with what he's seen, but also will want a little bit more from his side. Garner out to the left-hand side. To Dewsbury Hall. Dewsbury Hall's been absolutely fantastic so far in the middle. In Jai, who's also been top-notch, not just in the attacking areas, in the just in getting back in all the best ways. Ball over the top, looking for a Jai, too much on it. It's how to play for a goal kick, I do believe, for Preston.
And it's an offside, it looks like. Gibson leading the line. We're just going to see Preston on the edge of their own box with a free kick as it's taken. But Everton have been very, very good in this game. We have struck half-time in the other games. Bradford, Burnley 0 apiece. Newcastle at 1-1 after going a goal down. Spurs lead by 2-0. Mikey Moore with the first. Dominic Solanke with the second. And of course we lead with Everton by a goal to 0. But of course we were the 8 o'clock kickoff. So we're a little bit behind the rest who have struck half-time. As I made my late appearance after coming from a Rapid Vienna Hearts game, which was absolutely phenomenal. It took all the way to penalties for Hearts to get a historic win. The Scottish sides have fallen short, but they haven't. Eteno Barry may not fall short. You look for a second, it's an underwhelming effort with the right foot, and it's straight at the keeper. 36.5 on the clock. Goes to the far side. Valentin, the number 2, is going to hook it forward. He had to try and keep that in. He's let it bounce there, Armstrong. It was Mikolenko actually, and a header out on the far side, and it'll be Preston. It's hard for Preston now, of course you're at home. The most important thing is scoring first in ties like this. When you're the underdog and you're at home, you score first, you get the crowd on your side, you build the momentum, but Everton have been a level above this evening.
Oh, they've been fantastic this evening. We were speaking about this even before we covered the game in Austria. It's all about the 11s, isn't it? I think it's about the intent. And Everton have almost made 3 changes, but they've got great depth, of course, of the Toffees. You look at the changes: Branthwaite out, George out, and Hackney. But in comes Garner, Dibbling, along with Keane. That's experience, that's youth. It's everything in there, isn't it? And you've got them on the bench as well, so you've got opportunities. So there's just a bit more intent there for Everton, but they've been a class apart so far this evening. I know you've been, as you just said, jumped off the Rapid Vienna game. you've been keeping an eye on this and seeing the game. It's been very good from Everton. Look, should it be expected? Premier League side against Championship side, yes. But how many times do you see this as a bit of a banana ball in behind there? Nearly, that's exactly the kind of ball they scored with a goal. How many times do you think this is a banana skin for teams? And well, I know Newcastle have got an equaliser, but the Baggies scored, for example, didn't they? So, and that was as the host. So you could have easily seen that Everton weren't up for it. Preston were from the off, they weren't, but we have seen it before. David Moyes has kept them in check, if you will, and he'll know. Of course, he was former Preston manager, of course, David Moyes, for over 230 games, so he'll know what this means. And I think he'll also know that, look, we won at the weekend, let's keep some momentum going. Preston haven't won in all comps this year, let's kind of keep, unfortunately, the misery on them.
Yeah, absolutely. As it's just at the back now with Leroy, and he takes it backwards, right to left in the first, come North End. As they move it forward, looking for a big chance. They haven't had many yet. Ball over the top, Rolls making a mistake. The keeper hesitant on it with Pickford. It's to the left-hand side, late to the edge of the box. Chance to shoot, it's over the bar. And it's Roll, an attacking midfielder at right back. We know, I think it's very, very well known that Everton need a right back. Of course, losing Seamus Coleman. It's a touch that should be made. It's gone under his foot. It's a big mistake. Laid to the edge of the box. A shot that's come in first time across the body on the edge of the box from Leroy. And it's one of them that it's very easy to put your foot right under it and put it over the bar. Can he take a touch maybe? I'm not quite sure, but that's a chance.
Big chance. And you're right, Roll can play anywhere on that right-hand side, but if you're playing him as a right back, you almost have to expect that he's going to leave gaps in behind. He's still a young player, isn't he? More of a, as you rightfully say, an attack. He's a winger. He's probably thinking, I'd like to play where Dibbling is on that right-hand side, but maybe gets away with it because it trickles a little bit further wide to Bergzorg than it would have been. Poor pass from Garner there coming forward. And I think for me, personally, there with Leroy, you're right, it's so easy to get underneath it. I'm just thinking, could he, as you said, maybe taken a touch and maybe driven it low? Because as you can see, we're watching it back, it's kind of a perfect angle. It's not a bad pass from Bergzorg, but it's kind of bobbling into him. There's no real pace on it. So you maybe want to take a touch and then kind of drive it to the goalkeeper's left. And if it gets blocked or saved, fair enough. But unfortunately, only went into the Toffee's away end. Yeah. It was high and wide.
Absolutely. They've seen most of the ball in this first half, Everton. But to say they've had 3 attempts apiece, there's hope. They've had more shots on target, Preston, as well. So interesting. First ever competitive meeting between these two as well. And of course, it took penalties in the first round for Preston to get through Huddersfield 5-4, which ironically was played at Goodison Park. You rightly mentioned to me. There's an irony about that, isn't there? Now they're playing Everton. Can you believe they've played more times at Goodison Park this season than Everton have? That's I think it's used for the women's now.
Yes,
Park.
yes. So, I mean, look, it's a historic ground, isn't it? You don't want to see anything happen to that. It's similar when you saw Highbury get knocked down. They were building a new stadium, but you'd love to have seen that kept on in some degree. So it's nice to see that these sides that maybe if they're building new ground, but they go, look, Goodison Park is a part of football culture, really, isn't it? So to keep that up and about, the women's game gets a big stadium as well with a big stage. It's a great opportunity.
Yeah, you talk about historic stadiums. You run the back to Upton Park, and that'll be such a brilliant historic stadium as well. You talk White Hart Lane, brilliant, isn't it? You'd love to keep them on, to keep them ticking, but of course they got demolished. I think the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is on top of what used to be White Hart Lane, so they didn't really have the planning permission for anywhere else. Of course, London Stadium and Upton Park, that was the Olympics, so they moved over. But back to our game, ball with Leroy on the near side. As he keeps the ball, it's actually Bergzorg moving inside now. Ball inside, flip round the corner, not on his toes there, Arabi. And he's had his pocket pick. Chance for Everton to get forward as Preston push bodies forward. Garner may go early, he's gone centrally to Dewsbury Hall. And he's too slow on the ball on a 180. There was a chance there for Everton to get forward, but they were far too lackadaisical on it. And it's going to be swept forward. That's a horrific ball that's to no one. That's in between two players. And believed to be Thierry Small and Moran, but what you'd say is, yes, it's a ball forward, yes, it's to no one, but on the flip side of things, no one's making that run.
Yeah, and that'd be the both. The runners will be saying, who's that play to? And Moran will rightfully say, as you just said, well, where's the runners?
Yeah.
If it's 0-0, you expect maybe that cautious nature. At 1-0 down, at the back end now of the first half, you don't want to concede, do you, going into the second half, because 2-0 down, that's a mighty climb to make. But you do also just sit there and go, come on, have a go at them, see what they're all about, kind of thing. So Yeah, I think that's been pretty poor from Preston. It's just been, that's the thing, that I just don't think they've been up for it this evening. Again, you'd have to say perhaps that is that the changes. You would always hear players say, managers, I remember Cesc Fabregas saying that when a manager would make a defender come on, mentally you just go, so he wants us to defend. If you're a Preston player and Paul Higginbottom's made 7 changes, mentally you just go, so he doesn't mind us losing this, so we're not going to be up for it. Whereas let's say he makes 2 changes, you go, oh no, he wants to win this. Everton have made 3, so there's more intent there. So maybe it's just a little bit of a mentality thing to get over.
Yeah, and of course Preston haven't had a phenomenal start to the season, of course, but it doesn't. I don't think it says the full story. They went away to Bolton on the first day, who were just coming up and had the honeymoon phase, and then of course the game against Wolves at the weekend, losing 3-1, and Wolves are of course heavy favourites to go right back up to the Premier League. So it doesn't tell the full story for me, but they are behind at the minute and need to pick themselves up. They need to find a bit more quality going forward. It's not been good enough for North End, and Everton back in possession near side of centre with Garner, and swept across to Keane. So much of the ball, Everton, in the first half. I saw a touch map, and it's of the most touches of the top 6 players, and they're all in blue. And James Garner's had the most of anyone with 54. As we tick to 1 minute before the break, through additional, fairly free-flowing game. I don't think there'll be too much additional added on. Roll just chops inside to Armstrong. It's good, neat play around the box. Moved centrally this time for maybe a shot. It's helped on its way by Dibbling, who I don't think we've seen the best of in an Everton shirt just yet. I think there's more to come from the former Southampton man. And it's deep now, it's into the box to that man, Tyler Dibbling. Shot comes in, it may have struck the post, or it may have been a save. Either way, if it's a save, it's a good one. If it's the post, it's a very unlucky effort on the 180. Just caught him off guard there on the swivel. Almost 2-0 there. Just stood off him, and a shot came in by a man that I was just criticising they haven't seen enough of in the Everton top, and he almost made it 2-0. I think, from my personal point of view, it struck the post.
I think so. I agree with you. It was a good strike. Sort of start before the game. 17 games without a goal or assist for Dibbling. He's still only 20, but, and I said this as well earlier, it just screams of a young player who's just going through a bit of a bad patch, a bit of a bad spell, a bit of drop of confidence, because we saw him at Southampton light it up, didn't we? And he's only 20, so he's got loads of games, minutes, and everything ahead of him. He's just going through a bit of a patch. And maybe that's why David Moyes played him today, going, look, we're going to be the side, we're going to have a little ball, maybe go out there, get a goal for yourself, get some confidence. Hasn't worked for him so far, but here come the Toffees.
That's a lovely ball roll across goal, and it's cleared. Good defending in the end. Turno Barry, who's going to double his intake and double Everton's. Maybe a chance for Preston to get forward. They haven't committed a lot of bodies forward into the centre to the big number 9. There's a bit of room on the far side for Small, and he's been put in front of him so he can get the jets on. And he's going to make another run, Arabi. Small's going to go down the line, ball in, round Mikalenko to the back post, allowed to take it down at the back stick. Flag stays down. That's a horrific cross-come shot in the area. They're going to clip a ball back in. No one there. Mikalenko with the chest very calmly by the Ukrainian. Back to Jordan Pickford, and you'd like to think that may just be the end of the first. We're going to get to the answer to the question I posed. Was it save or was it post? It was a brilliant save, maybe onto the post. What a save by Nichols, the number 21. But that is the end of the first half. It's been a story of predominantly the Premier League side as Turno Barry gives the Toffees the lead. At half-time, it's Preston 0, Everton 1.
half-time at Deepdale, and it is Preston 0, Everton 1. An impressive performance from the Toffees in the opening 45 minutes. A lovely goal, a lovely move as well, put together by Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. Ball over the top, nice first touch by Mikolenko. Lovely ball back across the face of goal, and a tap-in for Tieno Barry. He scored a goal against Eagles Palace at the weekend, and he's got another one this evening. As Preston were underwhelming and not in the mood in the first half. They trail 1-0. Half-time at Deepdale, and it is Preston 0, Everton 1. An impressive performance from the Toffees in the opening 45 minutes. A lovely goal, a lovely move as well, put together by Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. Ball over the top, nice first touch by Mikolenko. Lovely ball back across the face of goal, and a tap-in for Tieno Barry. He scored a goal against Eagles Palace at the weekend, and he's got another one this evening. As Preston were underwhelming and not in the mood in the first half. They trail 1-0. Half-time at Deepdale, and it is Preston 0, Everton 1. An impressive performance from the Toffees in the opening 45 minutes. A lovely goal, a lovely move as well, put together by Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. Ball over the top, nice first touch by Mikolenko. Lovely ball back across the face of goal, and a tap-in for Tieno Barry. He scored a goal against Eagles Palace at the weekend, and he's got another one this evening. As Preston were underwhelming and not in the mood in the first half. They trail 1-0. Half-time at Deepdale, and it is Preston 0, Everton 1. An impressive performance from the Toffees in the opening 45 minutes. A lovely goal, a lovely move as well, put together by Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. Ball over the top, nice first touch by Mikolenko. Lovely ball back across the face of goal, and a tap-in for Tieno Barry. He scored a goal against Eagles Palace at the weekend, and he's got another one this evening. As Preston were underwhelming and not in the mood in the first half. They trail 1-0. Half-time at Deepdale, and it is Preston 0, Everton 1. An impressive performance from the Toffees in the opening 45 minutes. A lovely goal, a lovely move as well, put together by Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. Ball over the top, nice first touch by Mikolenko. Lovely ball back across the face of goal, and a tap-in for Tieno Barry. He scored a goal against Eagles Palace at the weekend, and he's got another one this evening. As Preston were underwhelming and not in the mood in the first half. They trail 1-0. Half-time at Deepdale, and it is Preston 0, Everton 1. An impressive performance from the Toffees in the opening 45 minutes. A lovely goal, a lovely move as well, put together by Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. Ball over the top, nice first touch by Mikolenko. Lovely ball back across the face of goal, and a tap-in for Tieno Barry. He scored a goal against Eagles Palace at the weekend, and he's got another one this evening. As Preston were underwhelming and not in the mood in the first half. They trail 1-0. Half-time at Deepdale, and it is Preston 0, Everton 1. An impressive performance from the Toffees in the opening 45 minutes. A lovely goal, a lovely move as well, put together by Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. Ball over the top, nice first touch by Mikolenko. Lovely ball back across the face of goal, and a tap-in for Tieno Barry. He scored a goal against Eagles Palace at the weekend, and he's got another one this evening. As Preston were underwhelming and not in the mood in the first half. They trail 1-0. Half-time at Deepdale, and it is Preston 0, Everton 1. An impressive performance from the Toffees in the opening 45 minutes. A lovely goal, a lovely move as well, put together by Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. Ball over the top, nice first touch by Mikolenko. Lovely ball back across the face of goal, and a tap-in for Tieno Barry. He scored a goal against Eagles Palace at the weekend, and he's got another one this evening. As Preston were underwhelming and not in the mood in the first half. They trail 1-0. Half-time at Deepdale, and it is Preston 0, Everton 1. An impressive performance from the Toffees in the opening 45 minutes. A lovely goal, a lovely move as well, put together by Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. Ball over the top, nice first touch by Mikolenko. Lovely ball back across the face of goal, and a tap-in for Tieno Barry. He scored a goal against Eagles Palace at the weekend, and he's got another one this evening. As Preston were underwhelming and not in the mood in the first half. They trail 1-0. half-time at Deepdale, and it is Preston 0, Everton 1. An impressive performance from the Toffees in the opening 45 minutes. A lovely goal, a lovely move as well, put together by Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. Ball over the top, nice first touch by Mikolenko. Lovely ball back across the face of goal, and a tap-in for Tieno Barry. He scored a goal against Eagles Palace at the weekend, and he's got another one this evening. As Preston were underwhelming and not in the mood in the first half. They trail 1-0. Half-time at Deepdale, and it is Preston 0, Everton 1. An impressive performance from the Toffees in the opening 45 minutes. A lovely goal, a lovely move as well, put together by Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. Ball over the top, nice first touch by Mikolenko. Lovely ball back across the face of goal, and a tap-in for Tieno Barry. He's got a goal against Eagles Palace at the weekend, and he's got another one this evening. As Preston were underwhelming and not in the mood in the first half. They trail 1-0. Half-time at Deepdale, and it is Preston 0, Everton 1. An impressive performance from the Toffees in the opening 45 minutes. A lovely goal, a lovely move as well, put together by Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. Ball over the top, nice first touch by Mikolenko. Lovely ball back across the face of goal, and a tap-in for Tieno Barry. He's got a goal against Eagles Palace at the weekend, and he's got another one this evening. As Preston were underwhelming and not in the mood in the first half. They trail 1-0. Half-time at Deepdale, and it is Preston 0, Everton 1. An impressive performance from the Toffees in the opening 45 minutes. A lovely goal, a lovely move as well, put together by Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. Ball over the top, nice first touch by Mikolenko. Lovely ball back across the face of goal, and a tap-in for Tieno Barry. He scored a goal against Eagles Palace at the weekend, and he's got another one this evening. As Preston were underwhelming and not in the mood in the first half. They trail 1-0. Half-time at Deepdale, and it is Preston 0, Everton 1. An impressive performance from the Toffees in the opening 45 minutes. A lovely goal, a lovely move as well, put together by Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. Ball over the top, nice first touch by Mikolenko. Lovely ball back across the face of goal, and a tap-in for Tieno Barry. He's got a goal against Eagles Palace at the weekend, and he's got another one this evening. As Preston were underwhelming and not in the mood in the first half. They trail 1-0. Half-time at Deepdale, and it is Preston 0, Everton 1. An impressive performance from the Toffees in the opening 45 minutes. A lovely goal, a lovely move as well, put together by Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. Ball over the top, nice first touch by Mikolenko. Lovely ball back across the face of goal, and a tap-in for Tieno Barry. He's got a goal against Eagles Palace at the weekend, and he's got another one this evening. As Preston were underwhelming and not in the mood in the first half. They trail 1-0. Half-time at Deepdale, and it is Preston 0, Everton 1. An impressive performance from the Toffees in the opening 45 minutes. A lovely goal, a lovely move as well, put together by Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. Ball over the top, nice first touch by Mikolenko. Lovely ball back across the face of goal, and a tap-in for Tieno Barry. He's got a goal against Eagles Palace at the weekend, and he's got another one this evening. As Preston were underwhelming and not in the mood in the first half. They trail 1-0. Half-time at Deepdale, and it is Preston 0, Everton 1. An impressive performance from the Toffees in the opening 45 minutes. A lovely goal, a lovely move as well, put together by Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. Ball over the top, nice first touch by Mikolenko. Lovely ball back across the face of goal, and a tap-in for Tieno Barry. He's got a goal against Eagles Palace at the weekend. He's got another one this evening. As Preston were underwhelming and not in the mood in the first half. They trail 1-0. Half-time at Deepdale, and it is Preston 0, Everton 1. An impressive performance from the Toffees in the opening 45 minutes. A lovely goal, a lovely move as well, put together by Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. Ball over the top, nice first touch by Mikolenko. Lovely ball back across the face of goal, and a tap-in for Tieno Barry. He's got a goal against Eagles Palace at the weekend, and he's got another one this evening. As Preston were underwhelming and not in the mood in the first half. They trail 1-0. Half-time at Deepdale, and it is Preston 0, Everton 1. An impressive performance from the Toffees in the opening 45 minutes. A lovely goal, a lovely move as well, put together by Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. Ball over the top, nice first touch by Mikolenko. Lovely ball back across the face of goal, and a tap-in for Tieno Barry. He's got a goal against Eagles Palace at the weekend, and he's got another one this evening. As Preston were underwhelming and not in the mood in the first half. They trail 1-0. Half-time at Deepdale, and it is Preston 0, Everton 1. An An impressive performance from the Toffees in the opening 45 minutes. A lovely goal, a lovely move as well, put together by Kieran Dewsbury Hall. Ball over the top, nice first touch by Mikalenko. Lovely ball back across the face of goal. And a tap in for Tieno Barry. He scored a goal against Eagles Palace at the weekend, and he's won another one this evening. As Preston were underwhelming and not in the mood in the first half. They trail 1-0. Half time at Deepdale, and it is Preston 0, Everton 1. An impressive performance from the Toffees in the opening 45 minutes. A lovely goal, a lovely move as well, put together by Kieran Dewsbury Hall. Ball over the top, nice first touch by Mikalenko. Lovely ball back across the face of goal. And a tap in for Tieno Barry. He scored a goal against Eagles Palace at the weekend, and he's won another one this evening. As Preston were underwhelming and not in the mood in the first half. They trail 1-0. Half time at Deepdale, and it is Preston 0, Everton 1. An impressive performance from the Toffees in the opening 45 minutes. A lovely goal, a lovely move as well, put together by Kieran Dewsbury Hall. Ball over the top, nice first touch by Mikalenko. Lovely ball back across the face of goal. And a tap in for Tieno Barry. He scored a goal against Eagles Palace at the weekend, and he's won another one this evening. As Preston were underwhelming and not in the mood in the first half. They trail 1-0. Half time at Deepdale, and it is Preston 0, Everton 1. An impressive performance from the Toffees in the opening 45 minutes. A lovely goal, a lovely move as well, put together by Kieran Dewsbury Hall. Ball over the top, nice first touch by Mikalenko. Lovely ball back across the face of goal. And a tap in for Tieno Barry. He scored a goal against Eagles Palace at the weekend, and he's won another one this evening. As Preston were underwhelming and not in the mood in the first half. They trail 1-0. Half time at Deepdale, and it is Preston 0, Everton 1. An impressive performance from the Toffees in the opening 45 minutes. A lovely goal, a lovely move as well, put together by Kieran Dewsbury Hall. Ball over the top, nice first touch by Mikalenko. Lovely ball back across the face of goal. And a tap in for Tieno Barry. He scored a goal against Eagles Palace at the weekend, and he's won another one this evening. As Preston were underwhelming and not in the mood in the first half. They trail 1-0. Half time at Deepdale, and it is Preston 0, Everton 1. An impressive performance from the Toffees in the opening 45 minutes. A lovely goal, a lovely move as well, put together by Kieran Dewsbury Hall. Ball over the top, nice first touch by Mikalenko. Lovely ball back across the face of goal. And a tap in for Tieno Barry. He scored a goal against Eagles Palace at the weekend, and he's won another one this evening. As Preston were underwhelming and not in the mood in the first half. They trail 1-0. Half time at Deepdale, and it is Preston 0, Everton 1. An impressive performance from the Toffees in the opening 45 minutes. A lovely goal, a lovely move as well, put together by Kieran Dewsbury Hall. Ball over the top, nice first touch by Mikalenko. Lovely ball back across the face of goal. And a tap in for Tieno Barry. He scored a goal against Eagles Palace at the weekend, and he's won another one this evening. As Preston were underwhelming and not in the mood in the first half. They trail 1-0. Half time at Deepdale, and it is Preston 0, Everton 1. An impressive performance from the Toffees in the opening 45 minutes. A lovely goal, a lovely move as well, put together by Kieran Dewsbury Hall. Ball over the top, nice first touch by Mikalenko. Lovely ball back across the face of goal. And a tap in for Tieno Barry. He scored a goal against Eagles. And it is a warm welcome back to this evening's unofficial independent off-tube studio commentary of all the action from Deepdale this evening as Preston host Everton. It's Preston 0, Everton 1. Rather impressive first 45 minutes display from David Moyes' Toffees. Lovely goal it was from Tieno Barry. He's scored in back-to-back games now, has the former Villarreal forward. Lovely ball from Kieran Dewsbury Hall. Timed the run. Did Mikalenko to perfection. The ball was as well from the former Leicester and Chelsea man. Took a touch, put it on a plate for Tieno Barry. what all strikers dream of, you'd have to say, a finish, a tapping in the back of the net. Everton had a mighty fine few chances. Dibbling had a great effort at the back end of the first half, as here comes Bergzorg into the penalty area. Opportunity for Preston on his right boot. Strike is blocked away. What a start that would have been for the hosts. No changes to the lineup, so we'll take you through them in just a moment, but that's maybe what Preston need to hope on. Bergzorg did well to force the shot and forced a block, but will be a corner which they take short, and then they will swing into the back sticks or a physical side, cleared away only to the edge of the area. In Jai, great tackle coming in there, but then a terrible ball from Jordan Snorri. Now here come the Toffees. This would not be the start that they want at Deepdale. To the right hand side, Dewsbury Hall on his favourite left boot, strikes straight at the goalkeeper. Good save from Lee Nichols. Great start to this first 5 minutes or so of the second half. The Toffees looking to double their lead. It will be a corner. Myself, Lewis Raftery, joined by Nathan Wastel, take you through all the action at Deepdale, and we'll do our best to keep you with all the scores elsewhere. Of course, we'll bring Nathan in after this corner. It's currently goalless at Valley Parade. Bradford City 0, Burnley 0. Newcastle 1 down to West Brom. Now they're 2 up thanks to Harvey Barnes' goal. And Tottenham at the moment cruising, you'd have to say, 2-0 up against Charlton in this evening's round of games. The second round of the EFL Cup. It will be a corner. It will be a in-swinger from Ghana, right on the goalkeeper. Has to punch it away. It's a good punch as well. Not as far as Njai. Back to Ghana. Njai's not been closed down at all. Might go for goal here himself. It's a curling effort. Takes a deflection through into the arms of Lee Nichols. It was a good first half for the Toffees. They want to continue. That ball forward goes from goalkeeper to goalkeeper. Poor from Nicholas. Into the arms of Pickford. And one Nathan, again, it was very good from the Toffees. You'd expect a response from Preston, even if they got 2-0 down, you'd expect that. They've been strong though of Everton. I've been really impressed by them, but can they keep it up for 90 minutes? Can Preston even have, we just covered Rapid Vienna Hearts. Hearts had just that spell, and Rapid Vienna never got back into the game really. That's kind of what Preston will want. They want that spell where they get chances and create opportunities, and maybe even, of course, get the equaliser.
Yeah, I think what Preston need is a bit more quality up top. I mean, you called that in-play ball over, and it wasn't good enough, was it? It really wasn't. Really, really poor. It has to be said. So when they get in that final third, they look more positive, a bit more energetic going forward, throw a bit more bodies forward. But when you get there, the balls in, the quality, the shots need to be a lot better. That's a better ball in, dug out from the near side, but still no one there to attack it. And so, of course, Dewsbury Hall had an effort. It's similar. It's a bit closer, but similar to the goal he scored against Palace at the weekend.
It was Dewsbury Hall. Again, Everton only made 3 changes to the lineup this evening, so they've gone very strong as David Moyes and co. Here comes Leroy. Nice underlapping run, but it's well intercepted, well read by the Roll. And I think if you're David Moyes, you spoke about this in the first half, Roll's an attacking winger playing at full-back. They're still in need of a right-back side, and I think of the Toffees. He'll be impressed by any defensive piece of play. I thought that was a good hold up there from Bergzorg, but the foul's going to be given against the former Borough man. It'll be a free kick for Everton. And again, I think David Moyes will look at Merlin Rolls this evening and go, I know you're good going forward. If anything, I want you to show me away at a championship side, you're going to be a lot physically. I want to see what you're all about defensively. He'll be happy with that defensive interception. He's read the play. Any attacking output he'll play this evening. I'll bring Nathan in just a moment, as this is a quick attack here from the Toffees. Barry's going to take it past Valentin with absolute ease. Is he brought down there in the box? Valentin, I think, just does well to clear it away. He's looking for the penalty there because he's a big and strong forward there, is Barry. But that was too easy to take it past his fullback there.
Yeah, it was. He's gone down very, very easy. He may have just lost his balance more than anything. But he's a big lad, so it'll take a lot. I think it's just a bit of a tangle going on. I think he's kicked into the Preston man rather than the other way around. But again, another chance. Turner Barry, he certainly looks up for it tonight.
He does. And this is what confidence can do, can't it? Goals. He got a goal against Palace, as we already spoke about. He's the goal scorer this evening. I'll say quickly, in goal, Nicholas for Preston, back for Valentin, Snorri, Gibson, and Vukcevic, Thompson and Leroy in the middle, with Small off the right, Bergzorg off the left, with Moore and centrally supporting Irabi. In swinger coming up for Ghana, well under the way there by Snorri, as far as Mikalenko, who will unleash a strike. Took a deflection, but I do believe it was off one of his own teammates, so out of play for a goal kick. He took a touch and it fell for him kindly, but looks like it's off the head of his opposite full-back in row, and out of play for a goal kick right into the away end. Quickly for the Toffees, Pickford of course in goal, forward of Roll, Tarkovsky, the skipper, Keane and Mikalenko, Garner and Armstrong in the middle, Dibbling off the right, Dye off the left, Shrewsbury Hall centrally supporting Barry. Of course, maybe substitutions could be key in this game. Everton, of course, with only 3 coming into this, they'll have eyes on the weekend as well. Ball on the right hand side with Rolls, centrally into Armstrong. He's been impressive in the middle, was impressive against Palace as well. Out to Ndiaye, well, this is what he wants, a one-on-one against a winger backtracking ball into the box for Barry. Header is just wide. Good opportunity. You cannot give Iliman Ndiaye that much room to cut inside. Tino Barry's a good winger. Thierry Small is a good winger, but you don't want him that backtracking against a player of the quality of Iliman Ndiaye. It's a lovely ball. Barry just kind of gets in front of it and then puts it wide. I never like to say players should score, but I do think he should be getting that on target and testing the keeper in the Preston goal.
I do with his standards as well. It was a great ball in from Ndiaye, in step, swinging towards goal. If anything, he got too much contact on the ball with his head, and then he's put it wide. He just needed that glance towards goal in the end. But really unfortunate, and that was good play from Everton. I just think it's only 1-0, a long way to go. They'll want that second goal. I think David Moyes will say that in the end of the first. That's what sets up for a good game, because Preston have to come out and get that equal. They have to, or they're going out. And Everton do need to double their intake, because they can't sit on this for 30 minutes plus.
Well, they can't. And as you rightfully say, perhaps that'll come back to bite them if they don't finish off chances like that. Barry and Ndiaye linking up once again. He does like to come out to his left-hand side, does Barry. I know he's a big physical forward, but he's a really good dribbler as well. He can really carry the ball forward, and he's so pacey. And you really spoke about Nathan. He's a big lad, so he's hard to take down. Barry, 30 yards out. Thought he might open up for goal into Ndiaye. Lovely turn. Just too many white jerseys in the penalty area, and Preston come away with the ball centrally with Leroy. Nice turn away from Dewsbury Hall. He's going to put Gibson under some pressure here. Into Thompson. Nice play out from Preston again. Wasn't a good first half from Heckingbottom's side. It's going to be a better second half. Well, that's a poor ball over the top. Tarkovsky will easily deal with that one, and Everton will have possession into the feet of Mikalenko and Keenan and Dewsbury Hall. To James Garner. Again, just having a look at the stats in the first half alone. 2 shots not on target for Preston, whereas Everton 15 shots, 5 on target, 70% possession, 1.36 XG. It was a really good performance from the Toffees. You can see the confidence flowing through the veins of the visiting side this evening. That's a poor pass though. Maybe curse the commentator from Dewsbury Hall. And now the play goes for a throw-in. Just over 9 minutes into the second half, approaching 55 on the clock. Warm welcome if you are joining us for all the coverage, unofficial independent off Tube Studio commentary on the action at Deepdale this evening in the EFL Cup second round. At the moment, it is Preston 0, Everton 1. That's David Moyes' side, first time in the competition this season, of course. They will be in the hat for the next round as it does stand. Interesting to see, of course, tomorrow night we've got a couple of games, as we spoke about earlier in the Rapid Vienna Hearts game. Fulham and Chelsea, of course, only met on Monday, and then both teams have got separate EFL Cup clashes on Thursday. Both games you can catch on this service. And of course, we roll on into the weekend. Mikalenko. Ndiaye holds it up well, and what I've been so impressed with Ndiaye this evening, and every time I do see him, what's impressive is we know how good he's going forward, but he gets back, he helps his fullback, he gets back defensively, and again, a manager like David Moyes, every manager appreciates it, will almost go, that's why I want you in the side. You can create magic going forward, but I can also trust you to not be lazy getting back. I can trust you to come to get back, help your fullback, and then even hit on a counter-attack, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a manager's dream, isn't he? He's a brilliant player as well. Everton have done so well to keep hold of him. He's their best player, most important. He's just actually laid off an attempt, and he's just going to win it back here in Jai. It's passenger stuff here for Preston.
It is an opportunity. Now Garner might go for goal. It's a heavy touch. Curling effort will go wide of the mark there. You just feel he took that heavy touch, and he was always chasing, getting the shot there. But you are right, Jai loses it, and he goes straight back for it. If that was a nicer first touch, he probably takes a a more curled effort, a more bigger opportunity, but the heavy touches meant he was always reaching to go for it. Preston are readying some substitutions. Of course, they made a lot of changes to the 11 coming into the game, so you'd probably say that they'll be readying the subs. Maybe Everton will as well. Alfie Devine is on the bench. He was the real creative hub, everything. He was everything for Preston last season, so he might be coming onto the field of play, but Everton are coming forward before those changes are made. They might be 2-0 down. Roll down the right-hand side. He pulls it back to Armstrong. He'll swing a ball into the box just over the head of Barry, heading into the arms of the goalkeeper. Nicely collected. And you spoke about being 1-0. The longer it stays at 1-0, the longer maybe Preston just think, oh, we could just nick an equaliser. Who knows?
Yeah, absolutely. That's right. And I think if they want a comfortable evening, they need to kill this game off soon. But Preston are still in it, but they're just a bit passenger-esque. And when they come forward, it's not very convincing, to be frank. Another goal at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, by the way. Kevin Danzo. It's only taken him 2 minutes off the bench, and he's given Spurs a 3-0 lead against their London opposition. It looks like you mentioned, at 2, now 3. It's definitely going to be a comfortable evening.
Yeah, it looks like they've... after that terrible opening weekend against Brentford, they have, yes, it's a championship side in Charlton, but you've got to do your job. It's like Everton this evening, isn't it? You're away to a championship side, you're away at Deepdale. It's we were speaking about old school grounds. Deepdale definitely is an old school ground as well, isn't it? It's got that old school about it. You come to it, there's a bit of... I know Preston haven't been great in the last few years, but they're always a constant championship side. They're never really close to a battle for relegation. They sometimes can approach the playoffs, can't they, and look for promotion, but they're always a constant almost in the championship. At the back with Pickford, trying to entice a press at the moment. Everton, that's a lovely ball out to the right side to Roll. Will pick a nice pass into Barry. Lovely first time touch. He's really improved on that as a young forward. I thought his first touch was really lacking last year. Here they come. There's numerous blue jerseys on the left-hand side. And Dye picks it up. He's got a one-on-one run. Going to cut inside into Dewsbury Hall. Goes for a strike. It's blocked away. But Barry on the rebound. Right place, right time. Has made it 2-0. Close to the hour mark. Once again, in Dye, Dewsbury Hall, they were the players involved. They were the ones who made the move. It was saved well by the goalkeeper originally and blocked away, but then Barry almost just cannons off of him, doesn't it? It's not he might stick his right boot out to get a strike away, but that's right place, right time. He's a player in confidence. You can see by his celebration and dance moves at Deepdale. He's over the moon. Right place, right time. He makes it 2-0. He grabs his brace. 3 goals for the season. Preston 0, Everton 2.
There we go. In its game, it's not going to be the highest caliber finish of his goal-scoring catalogue. That's for sure. A shot that's come in, parried right in his path, and he's flicked a right boot at it. He didn't get the most telling of touches on it, and it trickles into the back of the net. But it's enough, isn't it? It's an attempt from Dewsbury Hall in a very tight angle. But that's what happens. Even if you shoot, you're forcing a keeper to push it into a dangerous area. And then he flicks it into the back of the net. And with half an hour to go, on the basis of the hour we've seen, this is probably done.
I have to say as well that, as I said, for the young French forward, that's 3 goals now in all competitions. Well, I said when they were coming forward with Roll down the right-hand side that the substitutions might come on the 2-0 down. They took that long to make the substitutions. They are 2-0 down now because of it. I believe it's at least a double, maybe even a triple change coming up here for the host. Definitely saw Divine and Lang are on, and Clark as well. Just waiting for confirmation from... well, it's a double substitution. I definitely saw Divine on, but McCann and Lang are on. I think it's a quadruple substitution here, and we'll wait for a full confirmation, as I do say, so apologies for the wait, but definitely saw Clark and Divine, and the broadcasters didn't give us those, so I will wait for full confirmation, but I do believe it was a quadruple change. It is Bergzorg and Leroy are off, Clark and Divine are on, so they're attacking changes, you'd have to say. Divine coming on as well. Just an update at St James's Park. Would be a big goal opportunity, I should say. Penalty for the Baggies. looking at it on our screen, ball into the box, look, it's a handball
again.
And Lewis Hall, well, he's had 2 great games, but he's given away 2 penalties, unfortunately, as the young fullback, as the Baggies took the lead. The Magpies struck back, Harvey Barnes making it 2-1, but could be an opportunity for the Baggies to grab an equaliser and make it 2 apiece. Ball over the top there. Nichols will pick it up. Danso as well, just confirmation, scored the 3rd for Spurs in their 3-0 current lead. Up against Charlton. It's a London rival. Will we get that every about half of the Premier League is London rivalry, isn't it? Ball over the top, looking for Ndai, knocks it on for Barry. Of course, he would love a hat-trick, you'd have to say now. He's looking confident as well for it. You won't back him if you could give him a chance. You would probably back him to go ahead and make said hat-trick an opportunity. Looks like the Baggies. Isaac Price, well, a man on some fine form. I speak about Turno Barry. It was Isaac Price who grabbed a brace at the weekend and a big win against Burnley covered that. The Baggies were great in that. Well, he's grabbed a second on the evening, so a big 15 minutes or so coming up for Newcastle United. 2 apiece against Newcastle at St James's Park with full time and a penalty in the last minute. And a bit of deja vu at the moment. Not last minute there, of course, at St James's Park, but it is 2 apiece, a similar scoreline to the Liverpool game. Ball in behind here, opportunity for Lang, driving into the penalty area, cuts down the byline, ball into the box. Credit to Keane and Roll for getting back into position there. They blocked it. But that's what Preston, but that's fresh legs, isn't it? Lang coming on, we've seen Divine come on. A bit more quality on the pitch, but when you're 1-0 down, okay. But 2-0 down, it's a big ask for Preston.
It is, and I feel for him there because he was up against it. He worked really hard to get the ball there, Lang, and he had the right to go out and cross it. But like you say, backtracking, getting in position, it's just really good defending. It's just levels, isn't it? It's just a level above for Everton being the Premier League side, and it's just a bit more quality about them. And speaking of them, looks like Nathan Patterson's coming on. Garner's going off himself. Just trying to see whom is coming off. Looks like Brennan Johnson's coming on as well. So Garner and Dibbling make way. I think Brennan Johnson will go to that right-hand side, making his Carabao Cup debut, and Nathan Patterson comes on as well.
Possibly maybe Patterson spotting in at right back, of course. Maybe even Roll going a little bit. He can go centrally as well. So we'll have to see how it does develop for the Toffees. But that just shows the depth that they've got, that they can come on when you bring the likes of Brennan Johnson on. I know he's on for a hat-trick, but I wonder if David Moyes would have taken off Tierney Barry. Yeah, you know, I know you're on a hat-trick, but you're on some fine form. I want to make you make sure that you see it into the weekend and continue that fine form. Still goalless at Valley Parade between Bradford City and Burnley. Currently goalless. Burnley 0, Bradford 0. Of course, former boss, the boss of Bradford City, Graham Alexander, former Burnley player. 2 apiece at St James's Park. So currently going to penalties in both those games, whereas it is Spurs 3, Charlton 0. So at the moment, it is Everton 2, Preston 0 here at Deepdale. Ball into the box. Good header back into the area. Can they create something? Lang with the overhead kick forces a great save. Deflected and not cleared away just yet. Everton will, in the end, just about clear their lines. Barry has it. Great pressing down there from McCann. Well, what a goal that would have been from Callum Lang. We saw a world-class strike from Miller in the Rapid Vienna Hearts game. That was a great strike. Just unfortunately, straight at Pickford. If that's in a corner and he makes a save, yes. And I mean, the technique to do that is world-class as well, I know that. Just unfortunately, makes it easy for Pickford because it's straight at him. Yeah,
at 6 yards out, you get a great thorough contact on it. And that's going to be a goal, isn't it, either side? But he did have to move for it, but it's still pretty much at him. So credit to him for making the save, but it was made easier by the non-direction on it.
Yeah, it was. I think Pickford watched it back as well. I know he's a great goalkeeper. I'm not doubting his abilities, but maybe made it a bit more theatric than it actually was. Did the Toffee shot stopper, ball over the top here? Roll will not it on, looking for Barry. Doesn't come away with it, out to the right-hand side to Valentin. One of the many substitutions into the side. Clark playing at centre-back. Nice pass, 1-2 with McCann trying to get on the end of it. And unfortunately, it is off of him. So it won't be was actually furious from McCann, I have to say. I think he's trying to keep those standards up. And at the moment, the substitutions are working their magic, I'd have to say, for Preston. But, well, quick update as well. It's goals galore at St James's Park. We've got a fifth, and Harvey Barnes has got a second. 3-2 to the Magpies.
Making hard work of it.
Well, I mean, I think if you want to back both teams to score in all season, maybe Newcastle is your banker, isn't it? Of course, great game against Liverpool. That was 2 apiece there at St James's Park, and well, the German making his mark. And just watching the goal back on our screens, what a finish from Harvey Barnes.
Maybe a double assist for Dedic, I'm just trying to say.
We've seen our screens, of course, when all these games are on, we do get the coverage. Oh, lovely ball over the top here for Njai. Opportunity to make it 3-0. Flag stays down, it's still going. Opportunity nearly falls as well for Brennan Johnson there. Great defending. I have to give credit to Gibson there for getting back and for putting it in the right spot, if you will. Lovely ball over the top there. Dinked it into the path of Njai. Because he's got Brennan Johnson, do you think he's a little bit 50-50 of do I go for goal, do I pass it? And because he's indecisive, he just doesn't make a decision.
I think you're absolutely on the money. If he's in one-on-one, Brennan Johnson isn't there, he's hitting that from where he was. He takes his time. And how many times do we see in football, you've got 2 options, and you can't decide between the 2, so you do neither. It's a brilliant recovery tackle. Absolutely, but you shouldn't have been given that option. You either lay Brennan Johnson in or you hit it a little bit earlier, and he did neither, and that would have wrapped it all up for Everton. But yeah, in the end, it's a chance miss, that's for sure.
And well, still, as I said, I thought we were going for a draw at St James's Park, so I'll retract that statement. It's only one. Of course, we do go straight to penalties in the EFL Cup. So our colleague is covering at Valley Parade. That's currently goalless between the two sides. Of course, that's a great result for Bradford, even if they were to lose on penalties. A draw against Championship side Burnley, the beat Sheffield Wednesday 6 days ago at Hillsborough. Great start to the season for Graham Alexander and co. Looking at the match stats, my word, of Everton dominated. 4 shots for Preston, 1 on target. 24 shots for the Toffees. 8 on target, 68% possession. Unfortunately, they've just been a class above this evening. Again, it's expected, but I said it earlier, how many times do you see these as bananas? Gets ball into the box, Barry tries to put it back across the face of goal. It'll fall in the middle. And it will go over the bar for Dewsbury Hall. That was an awkward one, I know, but he was leaning back. It was awkward, but should have been better from the former Leicester man. It was a decent ball in from Brennan Johnson on that right-hand side. But that's what I mean, that's to me what I mean. How many times over every single season, FA, we saw Crystal Palace. I know it was the League Two, the national side, but we saw them go and they lost in the 3rd round and didn't defend their title. How many times do we see a team go away and they don't do the business? Oh, and Giant nearly taken an opportunity to make it 3-0 there. Everton have come in here, they've been focused, and they've got an opportunity. And they've taken it. Here come Preston, though. Maybe if they get one back, who knows what could come from this. Say, right-hand side with McCann. He's brought a lot to this game. I have to say, a lot of energy. Real bright spark as well. Thompson, he's been key all evening long in the middle. Just trying to get Alfie Divine involved if they can. McCann on the ball. Deflects it off of Mikalenko. Will win it back and has it on the right-hand side. Ball into the box. Oh, it's a good one. Can't get on the head of Callum Lang. As well, Jordan Pickford now. I know they want to go make it 3-0. Oh, what a ball out. That's Patrick Mahomes-esque there from Pickford into Dewsbury Hall. Plays it down the right-hand side for Brennan Johnson. Can he cut it back? Yes, he can. And Tieno Barry gets a hat-trick. The Toffees are running riot at Deepdale. What a transition. Pickford with the quarterback-esque throw into Dewsbury Hall. He picks out the pass to Brennan Johnson. Credit to the former Palace man. He puts it on a plate for Barry. That's what strikers feed off. He's confident, he's flying. He scored against Palace. He's got a hat-trick against Preston. And that will be that. Tino Barry with the hat-trick this evening. And as I was just about to say today, from Pickford will want his clean sheet. That is what he will want. He will demand they keep a clean sheet. But regardless, this game is done. 3-0 to Everton.
Brilliant, absolutely fantastic goal. It really is. It shows the calibre and the difference between the two. What a throw by Pickford. Zipped it It was absolutely fantastic. And then the ball delayed. The run from Tierno Barry allowed the space for Johnson. Takes a touch in the box to just square it for a tap-in 4 yards. Easiest goal he'll score this season, that's for sure. It's a fantastic goal by Everton, and that is their name in the hat for the third round, which does commence after these rounds.
But of course, the sides in Europe do come into in the hat in the next round. A couple of young Everton fans are putting the freeze up for 3 goals for Tierno Barry. First ever hat-trick, of course, for the Toffees. Former Villarreal man only scored 8 goals last season. It was his first season in football, in Premier League football, I should say. He's only 23 years of age. He's got a lot of developing to do. He's almost that raw talent that you know everything's there. The physical abilities are there. He's won the ball back as well. He might look to go make it 3-0. Oh, he plays it into his teammate, Brennan Johnson. Well, Barry was set up by Johnson minutes ago. And the goal scorer will provide for Brennan Johnson. Lovely finish. Everton make it 4-0 at Deepdale. The Toffees are running riot. I said that at 3-0. They're doing exactly the same at 4-0. Barry, well, he was the one who lost the ball, but he won it back. This is what Everton are about, aren't they? We saw that with Njai. We've praised him all evening. That, yeah, you lose the ball, but yeah, you head down, you win it back. Lovely play from Barry. And you know what? Yeah, he's a poacher of a striker, but he just shows there he's got the ability to play a ball through the eye of a needle. There, Preston thought they had it under control. They didn't. Barry too big, too strong in the middle, but then he can pick out a pass to his teammate. Brennan Johnson, first time finish. Johnson set up Barry. Barry's repaid him with a favour. It's now Preston 0, Everton 4.
Brilliant, absolutely fantastic. Yeah, one way and then the other. Absolutely brilliant. So good. Was he intending it for Brennan Johnson? There was a man just in front of him. I'm not quite sure. Just getting word of a 4th goal at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It looks like Savinho, on his debut, has given Tottenham a 4-0 lead.
Well, the goals are flying in everywhere but Valley Parade at the moment. First ever goal, of course, for Everton in Toffee Blue as well for Brennan Johnson. Thought he was very good, of course, a top goal scorer. Whenever he's gone, realistically, at Spurs. He's got that big goal in the Europa League final, of course, as well. I'm sure maybe scoring at Deepdale doesn't do it, but that's a great start for him now. For the former Palace man, didn't really work out, of course, for Brennan Johnson at Selhurst Park. The 25-year-old, the Welsh international, he made 26 appearances in the back half of the season. He's started life at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. I always want to say started life at Goodison Park. Of course, they're not at Goodison Park anymore. I always want to say that, but he started life at Hill Dickinson in some fine form. Of course, made his debut at the weekend in the Premier League, and now his first appearance in the EFL Cup and his first goal for Everton. Long ball over the top, looking for Brennan Johnson. Well, that's exactly what Pickford can do. We saw his distribution with his arm, almost a gunslinger-like, of course. As I say, I'm sure my Miami Dolphins could do with someone like Jordan Pickford at quarterback. Great throw from him. But he's also very good with his feet, of course. David Moyes 4-0. I think he's going to make a few more changes. Of course, Preston made 4 in 1. So they've still got a block to make with they've got 2 blocks, sorry, and a change to make. Whereas there was 2 changes, of course, for the Toffees. They've still got 2 blocks to make and 3 changes. I think now it's almost, if you are David Moyes, just looking and going, right, who do I want to take off? Tierno Barry. It's basically the Everton away end is one of the stands at Deepdale. Whatever they've got for their allocation, they've sorted out and they've been loud and proud of the Toffees this evening. He will get a round of applause when/if he was to go off. Ball over the top here. Well, a man who would deserve a goal is Iliman Njai. He's offside, puts it in the back of the net. A great strike, but he said no. Looked like he was close, is what I will say. If we see a replay back, it was a ball over the top, so he always looked in an offside position. I won't say he looked very close. As I say, looking like a double substitution coming up in a few moments for Everton. As I say, you probably look at Tierno Barry, maybe even an Ndai coming off as well. Looking at the couple of the games coming to a close in the EFL Cup, Tottenham have made it 5-0, so they're goal crazy as well. Everton have scored 4, Everton have scored 5. 5 goals at St James's Park. So maybe 5 is a lucky number this evening for a couple of them. Still goalless between Bradford City and Burnley. Of course, there will be a corner here though. Maybe even, again, if you are Preston, maybe can you take some away from the Toffees? Could you take that clean sheet away from them and see Pickford almost go pink in the face with rage? Will be a corner from the far side. I believe Alfie Devine will be the one to take this one. Well, he does. He goes short. It's a poor pass into Moran. A heavy touch. Should be offside there. They'll keep it up with Lang. He'll go for a strike. Blocked away. Everton. Oh, there might be a counter-attack. Oh, great tackle there coming in from Clark. Had to be, because either he was probably getting a red card or it was a one-on-one if they would have got away with that one there. Thompson in the middle. Everton Lang looking for a 1-2 here. Back out to the right-hand side. Thompson into Clark. Going to drive forward. Looking for options. No one's a runner for him. Looks for a 1-2 into the box. Well defended by Roll. And now the Toffees. Well, there's so much space in behind Tierno Barry. Could he get a 4th and a 5th for Everton? Ball over the top. Oh, he looks for Dewsbury. Oh, can't get that one right on the money. And Preston will keep possession once again. Thompson. To the feet of Devine, number 7 on his back, and he's a main man for Preston, but he didn't start this evening. I'm sure Paul Heckingbottom as well will probably look and say, you know what, we'll need to focus on the league anyway, if we're being brutally honest. Yet to win in all competitions. Of course, they drew in the first round of this competition. And, ball in from Valentine, but when you've got the headers of the ball of Tarkovsky and Keane in the middle, they've got to be on the money as those balls. Got to be much better. Of course, they drew 1-1 with Huddersfield, 1 on penalties. They've lost games against Bolton and Wolves, 2-1 to newly promoted Wanderers and 3-1 to recently relegated Wolves. So it will be, I will say, Charlton have got to go back. So maybe, yeah, it's just something that something to prove. Maybe De Zerbi will go, oh, I didn't get that clean sheet, so that's something that he still has to get this season. Corner coming up. Preston at least take a clean sheet away, possibly. We'll have to wait and see. Poor ball and deliveries have been poor from Preston. Well, we spoke about it when we covered Rapid Vienna Hearts. Hearts didn't put in great deliveries, but when they did, they ended up scoring. So that just shows that no matter who you throw in the box, what set pieces you take, if the delivery is poor, you're not going to get anything from it. 78 minutes on the clock here at Deepdale. Preston North End 0, Everton 4. Tierno Barry hat-trick. And Brennan Johnson's first ever goal for the Toffees. The difference maker here. We'll just have a quick look at the stats because we saw them up a little bit earlier. And my word, Everton have been excellent this evening at Deepdale. 27 shots, 10 on target, 4 shots, 1 on target for the hosts this evening. Into the middle for Roll. Rolls it out to the right hand side. He's playing a bit more in the middle alongside Armstrong almost. Patterson playing on that right hand side. Still get to see those two subs and can't quite make out who they are for Everton. They're on the far side, unfortunately, so I can't see the numbers on the back or their faces at all. Right hand side with Roll. Plays it down the byline. Goes back to Tarkovsky. Michael Keane into Mikalenko. Of course, he put it on a plate for Barry's first. He's played an excellent game at left back. Johnson for the moment on the left hand side. Swings the ball into the box. Long leg is at that and blocked away. As far as Nathan Patterson down the right hand side. Knock the ball into the box there. Looking for Brennan Johnson. Of course, that goal scoring winger that he is. Knows where the back of the net is. Of course, he got his first goal this evening for the Toffees. It's been excellent since coming on. Ball forward, that'll go up for a throw in. So, will be a triple change, apologies. So, they will make all 5 out of 5 who will be coming off. Can imagine, well, yes, Njai, that'll be the first one. Can imagine Barry might be one to follow, and maybe Dewsbury Hall as well. We'll wait for full confirmation. Alcaraz will be the man on the for Njai. And this is just now about David Moyes just saying, right, lads, it's 4-0. You've got hat-tricks. It will be Dewsbury Hall, the second change. We'll get full confirmation, bring that in a second. You've done your time. Get ready for the weekend. We've won here confidently. We won confidently the weekend. Let's keep this rolling. But let's just make sure you guys are fully fit going into the weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. It is exactly that. Getting the minutes in the legs, getting some fitness up at the end. before the next game, of course. It's very early in the season, isn't it? So you can see exactly why they're doing that. Tyreek George, of course, on a permanent basis now. Just getting them legs on, just getting a bit more of a feel in them legs. Yeah, it's 0-0 between Bradford and Burnley full-time. It looks like St James's Park's about to strike full-time as well. Newcastle 3, West Brom 2. So Matthias Yassel gets his first victory in charge of Newcastle. Looks like Turno Barry's making way. So I've got Dewsbury Hall, Njai and Barry at the minute coming off. Alcaraz, George, and I'm trying to figure out who the rest are at the minute.
Yeah, apologies. Mikalenko went off the field. So it is a free we thought. Mikalenko went off the field. I've already scribbled him off at my team sheet, but it is a free that Nathan rightfully said full time, as he says there at St James's Park. So at the moment we only get one penalty shootout this evening, and that'll be at Valley Parade. What a chance that is for Bradford, League 2 to League 1 side, former League 2 of course. They've done so well under Graham Alexander, and it is Adam Ansnu, number 39, who's come on for Turno Barry. I will say, even a couple of our broadcasters at first thought it was Vitaly Mikalenko, but no, it is Barry who's come off, the man who's on Real Valladolid, a part of Bayern Munich's second side as well. So that'll be interesting to see. He's got a few minutes as the young 20-year-old, the Moroccans who to get involved, to do something. 3 appearances for his national side. Maybe he can get involved as well. We'll have to wait. Asnu, though, is on in place of Turno Barry. So full confirmation. Off goes a hat-trick hero Barry, Dewsbury Hall and Njai, Alcaraz, George and Asnu on in their places. Tyreek George, quick winger on that left side. And I was thinking for Tyreek George, I think it's a great move, first of all, going to Everton. It's always a club that you know what you're going to get. David Moyes is a great manager as well to learn from. Is he more of a winger? Is he a striker? But he'll be given time to develop at Everton.
And this is a perfect time to do it, isn't it? You know, tend to play and you're cruising against the Championship side. This is where you may just take a bit of an experiment or two and see what players are all about, where they want to play, where they bed in. It's definitely interesting to see. We're just seeing Tyreek George. He's got that blistering pace. He's going to come again. Looks like he's grown a foot since the summer.
He does. He's gained a lot, hasn't he? Oh, he cuts inside and goes for a strike as well. So a big opportunity for that. As we said, so it's just about to get underway. We'll try and keep you up to date with the penalties that do go in, because no offence to Preston, this game is done and dusted. I don't want to take that away, and I say that in all the ways because I don't think Preston have been good enough, and it echoes the game that we just covered in Austria to me. As you're not missing anything, McCann's down on his arches, looks like he's picked up a bit of a knock. The first half an hour, Hearts didn't do anything. Rapid Vienna were all over them. They didn't create as many chances as Everton has, and they didn't have the quality that Everton have had, of course, but Hearts did nothing. They sat back, they were passive. The back end of the first half and the entire second half, Hearts went, no, let's go, Adam. Let's if we're going to go out, let's go out on our shield. Preston just never did that by going out on the shield. They want positive, and I just think, from a Preston fan, I go, we lost our opening 2 fixtures, poorly. Big Premier League teams in town, let's have a go at them. And they've not done that, and they've been poor this evening.
Yeah, because what do you have to lose sitting back and just letting them play their game? And they haven't really laid a finger on them at all, have they? We're just going to see McCann coming off now in that midfield role as he makes way. Another substitution made, so he just comes off, and it looks like George Greiber, the number 30, the young man's going to be coming on.
Yeah, unfortunately, of course, McCann's not been on the field too long, has he? So hopefully that's a bit of a stinger of a knock, and you go, we're 4-0 down. Let's not risk anything, and let's get you off the field on a cold Wednesday night. I know we're still in August, but it's getting a little bit chilly, of course. Now, isn't it? It'll be impressive for Everton. And I wonder if Everton will think, again, they've started the season well. Big win against Palace. Then a lot of touted. I think they're a side for me that were almost. I made a bit of a joke, and it's not to be offensive. It's when you see a cat stuck in a tree, and you go, "How's that got up there?" It was Everton when they were almost pushing for you. How have they got up there? Because they were just silently, just putting together wins, doing good things. And because there's a lot of teams in Europe, the likes of Sunderland, Brighton. And I think this with Brentford, because they haven't got Europe. Maybe Everton have got a good sneaky chance of possibly going into Europe coming into this season, finishing in Europe as comes as new. He's on the left-hand side. Everton still with possession all over them. Maybe this is a chance for Everton. We've only Premier League football to go for European places, and who knows, maybe even a cup run.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? Sort of team that's due a good cup run, aren't they? Absolutely. You can see the Carabao Cup. You see what Newcastle did in the Carabao Cup. I'm just getting word that Burnley have missed their second penalty, so it may just be advantage Bradford if they were to dispatch this penalty from Gillespie.
As I said as well, of course, the European teams in the Premier League, there's so many of them, come into the hat in the third round. And of course, who knows, a team like Bradford, that's a big chance of League One side. Who knows if you could get a trip to, well, they went to St James's Park last year. They went on a great run, didn't they? Andy Cook, the Geordie lad, scoring at St James's Park. I've been told all about that from the Bradford faithful. They had a great run in the Cup last year. Maybe they could have another one. Could go away to a St James's Park again, an Anfield, an Old Trafford. They could host them. Who knows? It's a big chance. And again, Everton, going back to them just quickly. Right hand side, poor foul from Tyreek George there, and it'll be an opportunity for a free kick now for Preston, saving a bit of face. Last 3 minutes, it's Preston North End 0, Everton 4. Tieno Barry's hat-trick and Brennan Johnson's first ever goal for the Toffees, the difference maker this evening at Deepdale. And we'll ask Nath my question in just a moment. As waiting for Alfie Devine to put this ball into the box, taking an absolute age. It's a looping, floated one, too much on it. And play for a goal kick. And again, like I say, Everton, they'll be thinking, we've got an opportunity to as I said, you've got confidence in what you're doing. You've got confidence in the cup run. You've got confidence maybe going for Europe. Could be a very good season for the Toffees after they were quite put down coming into the season in everyone's predictions and so.
Yeah, absolutely. They were never talked about, and if they were talked about low level. I mean, I was covering a game at St James's Park, and Everton won the game very late on, and they played some very, very good, fast, attractive football. And I think David Moyes is a very good tactician. He's a very good manager. He'll keep it sensible, but get it done. He does the basics right, doesn't he? So they've got a foundation there, and I think just like all the fans are crying out, they just need to sign a good right back.
Yeah. What is it, 3 right backs in 20 years? And also, I know they signed Seamus Coleman for about £30,000 back in 2007, and absolute steal there. Ball over the top looking for Brennan Johnson, too much on it, and into the arms of Nicholas in the North End goal. Last 90 seconds of the 90. Can't imagine there's too much stoppage time. I think if I see anything, usually 3 is that we have to do it, don't we? This is a stoppage. This is minimum we can give. Is this stoppage time is 3 minutes. I think if I see anything over 3 minutes, I'll feel a bit sorry for Preston North End, because they just want to get out of there, don't they? Everton as well, they won't want any injuries. As ball forward, Pickford's going to come out. Well, he's been ball in goal quite clearly, and comes out to put I know the form will look, but just put a. David Moyes will be on the sidelines pulling his hair up. And Jordan, what are you doing? Don't make me any more nervous than I have to be. Of course, both these sides now will be looking forward to the weekend. Well, Everton will be looking forward to the weekend. Preston North End will be looking forward to full time here at Deepdale. Of course, as I said, they haven't won this season in all competitions. That draw with Huddersfield in the first round of the Cup. Back-to-back defeats for Bolton, as well as relegated Wolves, means that they'll be looking, as I say, forward. Visiting Charlton, of course, they've just been hammered as well by Premier League opposition this evening in Spurs, so that'll be both sides looking to bounce back, you'd have to say. As when do look at the Toffees and fixtures they got, well, there's no easy fixture in the Championship, there's no easy fixture in the Premier League, of course, but as ball comes forward down the right-hand side for the Toffees, ball in isn't the one I was expecting. And it's cleared away only as far as the left-hand side to Tyreek George. Back to Mikolenko. They will visit Bournemouth at the Vitality on Saturday at 3 o'clock. Game we can catch on this service. 2 minutes of stoppage time. I think that's fair enough. There will be certain rules that they have to give. So I don't want to give the officials too much grief. But if you would have seen 5 or 6, you probably would have lost your mind if you're a Preston fan. He either come forward down the left-hand side with Armstrong. He's not finished. He might go for goal. Opens up for him. Curling effort wide of the mark. Another shot goes forward, probably close to 30 now, if not over it for the Toffees. But they've got Bournemouth. I mean, Bournemouth took the lead against City, then unfortunately City just too much pressure, too good with the citizens. But Everton, they'll take a lot of confidence into that, and then in a couple of weeks, they're playing at home to Manchester United at 2 o'clock at Hill Dickinson. That'll be a game that if they beat Bournemouth, 3 wins out of 3 then in all comps, they'll be feeling confident going into that if they're not already.
Yeah, and look, that City game, yes, they put too much pressure on and then prevailed, but for large stints of that game, Bournemouth were the better side, so it's going to be a really tricky test. And I think we're talking about Everton, could they be up there this season? They've played some good football. Well, there's your first real test, and we've got to see what they're all about at the Vitality. And if they put up a good performance, they've got a result there, then there's serious contention for them for a top half finish, that's for sure. Of course, not a lot of Premier League teams rotated tonight. I think Newcastle was probably the most heavily rotated. They came in fairly strong here, Everton, so of course not much in terms of rest. That's why we've seen the substitutions at the later stages, of course, but a good night to remember for them, an easy, comfortable win which they would have wanted, that's for sure, and they can take, like you say, so much momentum to Vitality on Saturday at 3.
That'll be a good game as well. Bournemouth play some good stuff. Everton, I think, like you say, sometimes David Moyes, I think you said it, really underrated. He gets a lot of stick, does the I think more for his, if I'm honest, his time at Manchester United, because everywhere else, apart from his stint in Spain with, I believe, Sociedad, he had that probably poor 24-month period. Apart from that, he's been excellent everywhere he's gone. So, and a big win for him this evening. Ball out of play for a throw-in. That should be that. It will be a great evening for the Toffees. It's not one to remember for North End, though. Tino Barry getting his first hat-trick for Everton. Some great finishes, great play from him. Got scoring underway after a lovely pass from him to Mikalenko. His second goal just probably flicked off of him. But his third one, a very similar finish to his second, to his opener. Ball played across to him by Brennan Johnson this time. Johnson teed him up for his third and hat-trick goal. Well, Barry teed up Johnson for his first ever Toffees goal. Impressive evening for David Moyes and co. Preston. 3 defeats on the bounce now in all comps. Winless in 4 in all comps as well. Whereas Everton, 6 goals in their last 2 and 2 clean sheets out of 2. Impressive start to the campaign for the winners this evening. Full time from Deepdale, it is Preston North End 0, Everton 4, and the Toffees advanced to the next round, the 3rd round of the AFL Cup.
Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved.